Alright, hello everyone! Welcome back! How's it going, Schwartz? I'm quickly deleting some old unneeded files in my recording hard drive because I just realized the recording is getting suspiciously full. And I don't want the recording to stop halfway through because that would be unfortunate. But I think we should be good now. Yeah, there we go. I'll have to do a proper move to my archiving drives at some point in the near future, but we should be good for today. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright. Last time we did our first real court case, and we managed to get a potential witch acquitted to not being a witch, which is great. Unfortunately, a certain other person ended up becoming accused of being a witch solely on the words of some random person. Random person being the person that we ended up accusing and getting arrested and basically murdered for being a witch. So that's cool. I don't know which is worse, the fact that we just got someone burned at the stake, or that they actually listened to them and believed the words of a witch and saying that this other person that we know is a witch, and they're now arresting them as a result. It's a bad situation all around, honestly. So Miss Cantabella stood in court under suspicion of being a witch. Thankfully, a young baker, or should I say, a young defense attorney named Mr. Wright, was able to prove her innocence. However, she soon found herself under yet another accusation. Miss Cantabella was believed to be the great witch Bezella. It is imperative we pool our efforts together and assist her in any way possible. How's Phoenix and Co. gonna get out of this sticky wicket? Well, I guess it's time to go collect some evidence. I mean, that's what we're good at after all, right? Alright, everything should be working here. Yeah, okay. I was like in a rush to start because I finished eating like basically 5 minutes ago. I was like, you know what, I just need to get stream going. The great witch Bezella, the legendary witch from ancient times. She is the source of all evil and the one who gives rise to all the other witches. As long as the great witch Bezella is alive, there will always be witches in Labyrinthia. Apparently, this is the commonly held belief. Therefore, if Bezella were to be put to the fire, there would be no further need for these trials. In other words, no Bezella, no witches, right? But how does that all implicate the speller? Well, someone said it. It must be true, right? By the way, Professor, you seem to know a lot about all this. The Professor and I discovered a mural of the great witch Bezella in the room below the library. And it looked like it was painted a long time ago. That's for sure. You mean, like a wall painting of Bezella? Indeed. There were some historical remains hidden beneath the library. We found it there. At any rate, I'd very much like to investigate Bezella in greater detail. I'm afraid my knowledge extends no further than the legend known to the townspeople. In that case, I guess we have no choice but to ask Espella. Maybe she could tell us why she's accused of being Bezella. Well, yeah, but didn't they tell us we can't see her for a while? Come on, we never let that stop us before. And that, Maya, is how we always end up in all sorts of trouble. Well, fine. Just leave it to me. It's nothing that a little sweet talking can't fix. Maya, I'm not so sure that's a good idea. Hey, look, pal. We need to see Espella. It's a matter of life and death. I'm not sure I would qualify that as sweet talk, but rather more of a full-on assault. Did you not hear what Inquisitor Bonham said? Spella Cantabella is currently undergoing questioning. And while that's taking place, no one is... Can't you do something? Hey, keep it down, will you? Orders are orders. No matter how many times you ask, the answer will still be no. Well, be on your way, will you? Go on. Go. Access denied. That much is obvious, Maya. I can't believe Mr. Bonham took Espella into custody just because of that outburst. That reminds me, something Inquisitor Bonham said has been bothering me. It was not I who made the decision. I believe that's how he put it. Well, I mean, if he's kind of like a lawyer, that makes sense. Usually the lawyers aren't the ones doing the accusing, they're just speaking on behalf of, like, whoever they're working for, right? So in the prosecution's case, that's usually the court, or the, well, no, not the court, the state, or the whatever regional equivalent. Oh yeah, that's right. So in other words, someone of higher authority than Inquisitor Barnum, huh? Maybe the police even? Whatever constitutes as police in this world? That's it. We'll just go ask that person instead. So basically, we're just gonna ask to see Barnum's manager. Got it. But who in Labyrinthia could have more authority than Inquisitor Barnum? Well, I know how to find out. Let's ask around, Luke. Not you again. You don't give up, do you? Like I said before, you cannot see... it's not Speller. There's someone else we'd like to see. That's right. We'd like you to take us to see the person ranked above Inquisitor Barnum. Above Inquisitor Barnum? You're not telling me that you want to see High Inquisitor? So they're called High Inquisitor, then? What's this? Are you seriously suggesting that you don't even know of High Inquisitor Darklaw? High Inquisitor Darklaw? That's weird. Can't help but feel I've heard that name somewhere before. I'm sorry, but could you tell us where we can find that person? But please, do me a favor and don't ask. She's not the sort of person you could just drop in and see, believe me. But there's something of importance we wish to discuss with her. You people are really fearless. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. To meet High Inquisitor Darklaw, you must go to the Inquisitor's Hall. Just be careful not to upset her. We understand. Thank you for your assistance. Is the High Inquisitor really so fearsome? Of course not. Not our High Inquisitor. She's wonderful, beautiful, intelligent. Just a little strict. You don't have to go mentioning what I said about upsetting her. Understood? Don't worry. You can rely on us. High Inquisitor? That title sounds really high up on the food chain, doesn't it? Apparently, if we go to the Inquisitor's Hall, we can see her there. We won't have anything to achieve standing here. Let's go and see her. Alright, let's go to the Inquisitor's Hall. Oh, it's conveniently in the same building. Los Angeles could learn a thing or two. Ah, I can see Inquisitor Barnum over there. Okay, which means that woman standing next to him must be High Inquisitor Darklaw. They look so serious. It might be difficult to butt in. Perhaps we should wait until they finish their conversation. We're prepared for the question of Isabella Cantabella. She's in the Death Knell dungeon. Would you like to see her now? Barnum, I intend to leave the questioning of the girl to you. But, if she is indeed the Great Witch, should the High Inquisitor be there? It is not necessary that I be present, and I have much faith in your abilities. Oh, understood. I will not let you down. I intend to visit the scene of the crime. You take care of things here while I'm away. The scene of the crime? Do you mean... That's right. It's unlikely there are any clues left, though. Anyway, the question is yours, Barnum. Yes, milady. Looks like they finished talking. Inquisitor Barnum? How did you get in here? Sorry, sir. We didn't intend to eavesdrop. Inquisitor Barnum, there's something we'd like to ask you. I've no time right now. You'd best leave. He's gone. On a question as Spella. It would appear that we have to find what we need to know from High Inquisitor. So you are the High Inquisitor. From the way you talk, one would think we had already met. I'm certain we have never met before, but I did have the opportunity of seeing you at the Storytellers Parade. That's right, Professor. During that parade, she was standing right next to the Storyteller. The Storyteller? Isn't he the one who, he's known as the creator in this town. So any person who gets to stand by his side has to be someone important, right? Did you all just come here just to stand around speculating? If so, there's a quiet cell in the dungeon which has just become vacant. You can speculate all you want in there. Just a moment, Miss Darklaw. We have come here to talk to you. Talk to me? That's right. It's about this trial. We'd like to ask you about it. Inquisitors do not make a habit of discussing the details of the trials with just anyone. Just anyone? We, or in particular, he, acted as the Speller's attorney. That is hardly just anyone. That's me, alright. I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. So, you're the one. You're the knight of the court who opposed Inquisitor Barnum, aren't you? I received a detailed report. Yes, indeed. Most interesting. So what would you like to know? Alright, what are we starting with? Let's start with Espella. Espella was proven innocent the last trial. And despite that, she's now being accused of being Bezella, even though there's no decisive evidence to support the claim. Just a moment. Before we discuss that, there is one thing I need to make clear. While it is true that you acted as Espella's defender in the last trial, that does not necessarily mean to say you will be defending her again. What do you mean? Just because the trial is different, that doesn't change the fact that I'm her... Just because the trial's different doesn't change the fact that I'm her attorney. The charge against Espella Cantabella is of the gravest nature. You mean the charge that she's the Great Witch Bezella? What makes you think the accused wants you to defend her again? Maybe because we won the last case? As her attorney? I don't know, just a thought. You know, go 2 for 2. Does that mean if Espella doesn't ask Nick to defend again, then he can't request to be her defense attorney? Correct. The Great Witch Bezella is the source of all other witches. Her defender could, by their own words, place themselves in grave danger. Knowing Espella's kind nature, I don't think she'd want to subject anyone to that risk. That's why she kept quiet earlier. However, Espella is at this very moment undergoing questioning, is she not? And there's a possibility that she may be cleared of the suspicion of being a witch. That's right. There can't possibly be evidence of Espella actually being a witch. So how could anyone prove she is? Just how well do you think people really think you know Espella? Eh? On what grounds can you say that she's not a witch or that there's no evidence? I'd be glad to have you explain that to me. That's not fair. How about you tell us why you think she's a witch? Or you're not gonna do that, right? Because we're not her attorneys yet. We're certainly no experts when it comes to the Great Witch Bezella. So could you perhaps tell us more about this particular witch? To begin with, is the Great Witch not just a figure of legend? The Great Witch Bezella does exist. That is a fact accepted by all the townsfolk. In the past, the Great Witch Bezella used her evil power to burn the entire town. She burned the town? Professor, we saw that witch in the picture in the library. She was burning the town. If the Great Witch Bezella uses her powers, this town could burn again as it did long ago. We have to capture Bezella before that can happen. But do you have a motive? Like, why would she burn the town again? Like, what is the reason for her doing this? Why are you guys so opposed to these witches? Maybe they're just upset because you keep killing them. I mean, I don't know, just putting it out there. There's no way Spella would ever do something like that. One thing I'd really like to know is, why is Spella of all people is suspected of being Bezella? Of course, there is one reason. One reason? What is this one reason? From what you've told us so far, it seems there's something about Isabella that we do not yet know. Something which makes the townsfolk and you yourself believe that she is the Great Witch Bezella. Could you tell us what that reason is? Of course not. You're not allowed. That's something you'll have to investigate. As the High Inquisitor, do you think it would be in my best interest to provide you with that information? Oh, please, if you could just tell us a little more. I don't have to tell you anything. If you really want to know, find out for yourselves. Then at least let us see Isabella. So, Inquisitor Barnum is questioning Isabella right now. Is that right? Yes, he is. So seeing her tonight would be difficult. Try coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow. Alright, fine. We'll try again tomorrow. That we will. I hope you all realize how this will look to the people of this town when they see you all supporting the person suspected of being the Great Witch Bezella. When it comes to rescuing Isabella, I'm not worried about it, what people think. And I feel the same way as Mr. Wright. That is what I was hoping to hear. At the very least, you should investigate. And I pray I don't see disappointment in your eyes the next time we meet. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hey Nick, I was thinking, we've met her before, haven't we? Yeah, we have. In that trial back in England. Huh? Then who on earth is she? I'm not entirely sure, but at the same time, she was a teacher from a boarding school for girls. Was she indeed? It would seem Labyrinthia is packed full of puzzles. And this is one puzzle that I would really like to solve. Okay then, leave it to me. I'll give it my best shot. Where shall we begin? Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, Luke. I wonder if it might be better to first return to the bakery. Mrs. Eclair is no doubt worried about us. We should let her know the situation. Right. We need to tell her all about the trial. Ugh. I have a feeling that's not going to go too well. I think you did very well, Mr. Wright. I'm sure she'll understand. She's like a mother to us, Bella. You must be worried sick about her. Okay, everyone. Let's head back and tell her everything. How the court proceedings went, and the way the townspeople reacted. Isabella, it would seem you do indeed have a secret. The manner and speech of the mysterious woman accompanying Inquisitor Barnum alluded to her high status. Mr. Wright and Miss Fay seemed to have heard of her. Who on earth could she be? Standing alongside the storyteller during the parade indicates her high standing and the power she wields. Phew. I feel like it's been a while since we've been out here in the fresh air. Indeed. Shall we head back to the bakery? Oh boy, are we gonna question the dog later? How much you want to bet the dog's gonna be a witness? Oh, he's one frisky little puppy. He's a cute little guy, huh? You're just begging to be petted, aren't you, boy? Good boy, good little doggy. See? See? Look, Nick. He's so happy he's showing his teeth like he's smiling. I'm not so sure dogs show their teeth when they're happy. Don't be such a spoil sport. Come on, try petting him. Alright, let me give this a shot. Come on, here, boy. Mr. Wright, don't pet him. Huh? Oh. Oh. I guess even cute little puppies have a bite worse than their bark. Oh, you're right, Mr. Wright. I tried to warn you. I guess you can't always judge a dog by its looks. He may be cute, but what he was saying wasn't cute at all. What do you mean by what he was saying, Luke? That's right, Miss Faye. Luke can understand what animals are saying. Oh yeah, I actually kind of forgot that was just a thing. Luke can talk to animals, and I don't believe it's ever elaborated as to why or how. Wow, that's amazing! Like, actually legit talk to animals. It's literally probably the one, like, magical attribute in any Phoenix Wright game. It's like magic. Luke, you have magic powers just like the witches do. Luke's like secretly a level 1 D&D character. Given the current circumstances, I'm not so sure that's a good thing. I wish I could talk to animals. I'd love to talk to a puppy. Or even to a speller's cat, Eve. That puppy's way of talking reminded me a lot of Inquisitor Barnum. He said something like, "I'll only say this once, Sir Blue Knight. I, Constantine, do not permit you to stroke me." Or words to that effect. So dog's name's Constantine, huh? Perhaps that could have been Inquisitor Barnum's dog. Oh, I'm sure of it. He ran off in the direction of the Inquisitor's Hall. Maybe he's going to meet his master. That dog's just like his owner. Constant. Constantly barking, constantly biting Nick, and constantly adorable. He only bit Nick once, though. I don't really know if I'd say that's constant. So, Maya, you mean you really believe in my ability? Trust me, Luke. When it comes to people and their special abilities, nothing surprises me. I have a few myself, you know. Okay then, let's get back to the bakery. Come on, Nick, let's go. No, Luke talking to animals is the only magical thing in Professor Layton. Like, the thing about Professor Layton is that despite how ridiculous some of the stories get, there is always like a grounded, realistic reason as to how they happen. Even if it's a little improbable, it's still meant to be possible. I guess so. I think I've bitten enough for one night. By dog, and by his owner. Alright, let's get back to, there we go. Yeah, the only game I guess it could be in is The Last Spectre. But I'm not sure, because I've gone like 2/3 of the way through that game, and there's like not really any inclination as to why Luke's able to do it. Because like Last Spectre is supposed to be like the origin story. That's like technically the earliest game in the timeline. It's how Luke and Layton met and everything. But like it comes up there and like Layton is surprised, but he kind of just accepts it. Like partially is like, oh, it's just a kid having fun, and partially is like, oh shit, this kid actually does have the ability to talk to animals. Phoenix! Maya! Why are you back so late? Yeah, sorry we're so late. It's just that... Well, about a speller. What are you two looking so glum about? I was surprised. Huh? Just how is it that you could do such a brilliant job as a defender? It was wonderful the way you proved Speller innocent. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Not at all. No need to thank me. After all, Speller is still... I know, Phoenix. Oh, were you watching the trial? I certainly was, Maya. There's no need for you to look so glum. Well, the way you stood up to the Inquisition.
In all my life, I've never seen anything like it. That outstretched arm, that pointing finger, it was truly a sight to behold, Phoenix.
Boss.
That's why I'm not at all worried. Huh? Because I believe in you, Phoenix. And I know that you'll rescue Isabella again. You will rescue her, won't you?
I will. I'll be there for her, no matter what. Right to the very end.
That's a promise now, you hear? Now then, you must both be tired after all you've been through. You must have a good rest. And that means you two gentlemen as well. Oh, do you mean us? Of course. Why, if I hadn't been for you two, Phoenix couldn't have done what he did.
Thank you, madame.
Perhaps I should bring out another extra large loaf for our young apprentice here. No, I mean, I'm fine, really. But thanks for the offer. Nick, we have to give it all we got, for the boss's sake.
You got that right.
It might be difficult to rest right after a trial like that. But tonight, perhaps we should all try to get a good rest, as Mrs. Eclair suggests.
I agree, Professor. Tomorrow's a new day after all.
Let's go inside then. If we don't take that rest, we won't be able to do our best tomorrow. I hope Isabella is able to rest for tonight as well.
Well then, let's all turn in for the night.
Was that you, Maya?
I can't tell if the backgrounds are like... I think they're supposed to be 3D. And I'm pretty sure they are all like 3D graphics, but just the way that the perspective and the camera moves, it almost looks like skewed 2D graphics.
Hey Luke, what's the matter? Can't sleep? Well, kinda woke up, but then I guess you did too, right? You're worried about Isabella, aren't you? Yeah. After all, you were living here together. She must be like a member of the family. But you and Mr. Wright found yourselves here in Labyrinthia. Just like me and the professor did, didn't you? Seems that way, even though we've supposedly been living here for 5 years now. Those memories didn't exactly turn out to be real. I've got no idea how I even had that kind of memory in the first place. On top of that, even the boss seemed to have the same exact memory of us. She's done so much to take care of us. When I think about it, I can't help but feel like we were deceiving her, you know? I don't think you have any reason to feel that way, Maya. It's not your fault that your memories have changed. And even if the memories are different, I'm sure your feelings for Mrs. Eclair and Isabella are real. You're so right, Luke. Thanks, Luke. I feel way better now. Not at all. It's nothing. Alright. I'm gonna try real hard and get my beauty sleep. I'll be up faster and you can say goodnight. I'm not sure beauty is achieved by sleeping, or that sleep is something you can try hard at, but I'm definitely ready to sleep. Maya, did you say something? Me? I didn't say anything. Well, I'm sure I heard something. Maybe it was from outside. I wonder what it was. Let's go and have a look, Luke. Hey, isn't that Patty over there? Looks like she's searching for something.
Maybe she lost a puzzle. And now it's up to us to find it.
Eve? Eve? Oh, goodness me. Where could that cat have gone? She doesn't normally go wandering off at this time of night. I suppose you're worried about Isabella too, aren't you? Isabella. I wonder what she's doing right now. Is she crying herself to sleep? Don't worry, Isabella. You've got friends here, and we're going to make sure you come home to us safely. And when you do, we'll all sit down and have a nice dinner together. Boss. She's worrying so much about Isabella. She looks so sad. She really does. This must be so hard for her. Maya, I've got a great idea. Let's go and find Eve for her. If Eve still isn't back by the time Isabella comes home, she'd miss her for sure. And Mrs. Eclair could relax a little too. Luke, you're a genius. Let's go and find Eve for Isabella and Patty. But I wonder where she could have gone. We'll probably find her quicker if we ask around a bit. Eve is easy to recognize. She looks quite distinctive and has that scarf around her neck. I'm sure someone must have seen her. Correction, you're not just a little genius. You're a super mega huge genius. Oh, it's nothing. I mean, I am the professor's apprentice. Let's get this show on the road. How about we start by looking around the town center? Is Eve a black cat? Yeah, it was a black cat, and I think she had like a red scarf on her or something like that. So, yeah, the red scarf is going to be the main factor here. Right you are, Maya. But we'd better take care since we'll be in the streets at night. Don't worry though, if anything happens you can rely on me. It's the job of every gentleman to protect a lady. Let's go, Maya. As the grown-up here, I can't help but feel it should be me who's doing the protecting. Alright, let's go find Eve. Okay, where are we going first? Are we actually supposed to just look around, I guess? Well, I don't see any cant here, so let's start, you know, let's go this way first. We haven't been here in a while. Gotta go find a black cat. Anyone here? No, we can't talk to those people. So get used to this, because this will happen quite a bit. The different characters, like, splitting up and doing things by themselves. It actually becomes a pretty major part in the later half of the game. Excuse me?
What is it, lad? You have something you wish to sell? Well, it must be serious for a young fellow, my lad, like yourself to be visiting my shop at this hour.
What kind of store is this anyway? I only see a bunch of pots and junk here.
This is a pawnbroker's shop, madame. So, pray tell, what is it that you're selling?
We're not exactly here on business. We're just looking for a cat. It's a cute black cat called Eve. You haven't seen her, have you?
A black cat, you say? Well, I have a feeling I may have seen it. But then again...
Yes?
It's no good. I felt I was about to remember for a moment there, but... I've got things on my mind and I'm finding it hard to concentrate, you see? If only you could solve this.
Oh, are you talking about a puzzle? Because I could totally solve it for you. Savani, just like that. I'll help too. Maya's still a newbie when it comes to solving puzzles. Okay, Luke. We can do this, can't we? Savani, just like that.
Let's get to it, madame. Recently the mice have been bothersome. I want to catch the mice that have been causing trouble in the shop and teach them a lesson.
Use the black cat owned by Isabella. Cool, this game is not subtle, huh? Yeah, but we're going to prove that Isabella is innocent, so she definitely can't be a witch. We just proved that she wasn't a witch, remember? That was like literally the thing that happened. And the only reason she was arrested again is because some person who, mind you, was just killed for being a witch, said that she was a witch. And are you really going to believe the words of a witch? They're just saying whatever they want to try and get out of their sentence. 8 mice have been separated into 2 groups. The blue group contains good, honest mice. The orange group contains devious mice. Look at the example on the upper screen and separate the 8 mice into the correct groups. Oh, you want? Maybe we'll do equal for this one. Haven't used that enough. Okay, so we got to sort the mice. So the blue group contains good, honest mice. The orange group contains devious mice. Okay, so looking at these examples, I see that we're putting the guards into the evil mice. This game is definitely not subtle. Okay, king is good. I guess the bard's also good. How are we supposed to determine the rest here? Okay, this guy's evil because he has a scar. Anyone got like a crooked hat or anything? This guy's got a mustache. There's no mustaches up here though. Oh, well, you know what? The king has a mustache in the picture. So I wonder if that means that we should put him up there too. We're believing a spell, so yeah, I'd believe a witch. Alright, listen here. We're making assumptions. Okay? The only evidence that the spell is a witch is because some other witch said so. That's not evidence. That's just opinion. And not even opinion, that was desperation. You would also be making insane claims if you were about to be dropped into a pit of fire, wouldn't you? You would do anything to get out of it, no? What is the puzzle? So we're supposed to try and sort the mice on the bottom screen based on the examples on the top screen. So we want to put the bad mice in the orange box and the good mice in the blue box. We have to like try and discern what exactly makes a mouse bad or good based on the examples given above. So far we've obviously got royalty, that goes in the blue box. We've got, I'm guessing this guy's like a bard because his hat kind of matches the one in the example there. I'm only putting this guy in because he has a mustache, and apparently mustaches mean you're good. For the rest of this, I'm not too sure yet. Like, they look the same. Oh, this is a girl. Okay, girls go in the blue box. Are they supposed to be equal? Does that just mean that these two are bad? Does it say it has to be equal? Doesn't say it has to be equal, but the examples imply that it's equal. Trying to see if there's any other way we can sort this. This guy's got a scar, so he definitely goes in orange. This one's got armor, so he goes in orange. These two are leftovers. So the only other one I'm really not sure about is the mustache, but I don't know what I would swap it with. Oh, is one of them missing like a chunk of ear? No. But this one's kind of like the purple and gray mouse in the middle of the orange box. It's kind of like a bit scrappy looking. Oh, but he also has a curl on the tail. Well, hang on. Could that mean that's him then? So confused on how this is meant to be a puzzle. Well, the idea is like you need to try and like apply the logic that they're providing you to a new set of targets. But that is, and that itself is the puzzle, because like what exactly, you have to figure out what the logic is based off the picture above. Because the whole idea is like if they told you, then it wouldn't really be much of a puzzle, right? So I'm trying to see like what other clues we have here, like what other attributes on the mice on the top screen apply to the mice down here. So like this one looks like a girl, so that's probably supposed to be like the flower mouse in the middle. This one's got a crown, so that one clearly goes in there. Then we have stuff like this where it's like, do we have to... Is the mustache the defining trait here, or is it something else? Maybe it's the tail, the fact that it spirals around and goes down. Maybe that makes him the bad mouse. I mean, the colors also match too, right? So that could also contribute. But it doesn't necessarily mean all of those are going to be things, like each mouse is going to be different. I think... Like, I have no idea what this fat mouse with the cheese is supposed to be, because none of them... That doesn't match any of these mice. The tail doesn't really match.
I'm looking at the tails here. So this one's got scars. That's probably up here. That's fine. We can live with that, I think. And then this mustache guy, I'm still not sure about. But considering that like his tail and the colors match the one in the picture, I say he goes there. That also leaves... Could be these two are swapped, but what makes this one unique? Well, his skin color, his fur is the same color as the fat mouse. And I guess the tail kinda matches it, but it's not quite. But he's also the only mouse of that color besides the armor. But you know what? There could also be the chance that they're not supposed to be even amounts. Like, it could be like 5 and 3. The blue group contains good, honest mice. The orange group contains devious mice. So what makes them devious and what makes them good? Oh, you know what? Shit, I figured it out. I think that's it, actually. Let's see.
Let's do it, Miss Moya.
Yeah, there it was. I noticed the one
Professor's apprentice.
common trait between all the mice. Nicely done. The mice's clothing and color are not relevant. The telltale sign was the direction of their tails. That's all it takes. You know, if you have a tail and it's pointing down, that means you're suspicious. As we've learned here.
I didn't expect you to solve such a difficult puzzle so easily. I'm quite impressed.
Alright, that settles it then. I'm the professor's new apprentice. I think not. The professor's only had one apprentice, and that's me. Did you not forget about the many other people that he's met along the way? Did you forget about, what's-her-face from the first game, and now she was present in basically every other game since? No, I guess you did forget about it, so never mind.
So you two want to talk about a cat, don't you?
Well, of course we do. We'd very much like to hear about that cat. So, Mr. Pawnbroker, what can you tell us?
Well, I haven't actually seen the cat. But I'm certain I overheard the minstrel near the fountain singing about a black cat.
Near the fountain. Got it. Thank you. We'll go and take a look there. Yeah, it's just a tail. So, some of the mice had tails pointing upwards, and some tails were pointing downwards. And if you look at the top picture, that was the one thing each box had in common, was the direction of the tail pointing. And that's all it meant. That's all you needed to do. It was very subtle, but that's the kind of puzzles you deal with in this game. Good evening, sir. There's something we'd like to ask you. What's the matter? You're a bit quiet this evening, aren't you? Is he like sleep strumming? I wonder what's up. A sore throat, maybe? C'est la vie, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. I have no choice but to retire. C'est la vie. Yikes. Alas, no arrival has up and appeared. So how can I sing when I'm so afeared? A simple bard just cannot compete. With a rival that strong, he cannot be beat. Please calm down. What do you mean? Oh. That bard with a parrot on his shoulder, wrapped in colors he couldn't be bolder. When he sings it is with such grace, he draws the eyes of all in the place. His bardly bard named Bardley, no bird sits on his shoulder, dressed so drably he can hardly compete with the bard who is bolder. It would seem some amazing new rivals appeared. Woe is me. Well, for starters, you could try perking up a little. Perking up. I need some color to cheer up my day. I need some color to replace the gray. You need color. For example, bright colors such as these. Oh, it's one of these puzzles, isn't it? The stained glass window above has been beautifully painted using 4 bright colors. Paint a similar stained glass window so that each neighboring color is different. Think carefully of where each color should go. Touch the desired color from the palette on the touchscreen selected. Okay, and then tap again. And you can change them. Got it. Are we not supposed to just... No, we can't. Okay. Our color is, our coloring book page is different than the above, so we gotta do this ourselves. So we only get 1 yellow, hey? Alright. I see. So be careful with the yellows here. So the yellow can only be 1, so my guess is we're gonna put it in the middle, because every other piece touches that middle piece. Every single one of them comes into contact with it. So that would be the best bet here. And then the rest of these we can just use the other 3 colors as we see fit to try and paint this in. Nothing's touching so far. That's fine. There we go. Done.
This is my answer. As you'd expect from a gentleman in training.
Gorgeous. Nothing like a few splashes of color to really brighten up a window.
Look at this, Mr. Bardley. The colors are beautiful. Come on, cheer up. A minstrel isn't judged by appearances, he's judged by his songs. I'm certain there are many people who would love to hear your songs, Mr. Bardley.
Absolutely. I, for one, would love to hear more of your songs.
Really?
Yes, really?
Really, truly?
Yes, truly? Really?
Oh yes, you're right. Now I feel reborn. There's no reason for me to feel so forlorn. I shall sing to my heart's content. Morn, noon, and night. On and on and on. I won't give up without a fight.
That's more like it. At least he's perked up enough to continue singing.
Yeah, too right. That's a relief. In return for the cheer that you did bring, now more than ever, I'll continue to sing.
You're very welcome. Still, it seems like there's another minstrel somewhere in town.
Oh, kindly duo, what could it be? What brings you to Bardley? What would you ask of me?
Oh, I almost forgot. Mr. Bardley, have you seen a black cat anywhere around here?
I've seen it. I've seen a black cat. Since you're asking, I'll sing about that. That beautiful black cat with fur so sleek, chased and chased, ran to the main street. 3 knights gave chase, but it didn't last. The cat got away by running so fast.
That's it, Luke. Eve must have gone to the main street. Come on, Maya. Let's go that way. Yeah, he mentioned something about Eve being chased. We'd better hurry.
Main Street, was that north or south? Oh, it's south. That's where we came in. There they are. Now why would these 3 knights be chasing a helpless black cat?
If we don't hurry up and find that cat, he'll get away from us. Come on, give me a break. Just how long do you intend to chase after a cat? If we don't get back to our post, the captain's gonna blow his top. Even so, I'm sure that cat was a stray. Surely it's part of the code of chivalry to rescue people and animals without distinction.
But we've done nothing but chase it around.
Sheesh. Why did you have to be in our squad?
Did you hear that, Maya? Those knights are talking about a cat. Yep, and I bet they're talking about Eve. Let's ask them. Excuse me, sir. We're looking for a black cat. And we overheard you talking about a cat. We're looking for a black cat wearing a purple neck scarf.
Eh? A cat, you say? Well, that must be... Hey, wait a minute. Aren't those two the ones who gave Inquisitor Bonham such a hard time at the trial? Ah, those are the ones, all right. They were with that defender. What business could you possibly have with us? Be off with you, or feel our wrath. I know nothing of this cat you seek.
But I heard you were talking about chasing the cat. Yeah, I heard you too. You were worried about her escaping.
But even so, I don't know what I don't know, and I can't tell you what I can't tell.
Come on, just tell us. We need to find her.
You can ask as much as you like. But we know nothing, saw nothing, heard nothing.
Well, I don't think the cat's evil enough for this. But whatever you say. 3 disgruntled knights have claimed to have seen Eve wander down the street. Sadly, they are not very cooperative and have supplied a rather dubious set of clues. Use the map and the knight's clues to trace Eve's path along the town, starting at the S and ending at the cat icon. Alright, draw path. Submit when you have path. Cannot cross the same spot more than once. Okay. Okay, they're not very cooperative and supplied a rather dubious set of clues. Use the map and knight's clues to trace Eve's path through the town. Start the S and icon. Okay, so let's see. So the first knight we encountered... Is that supposed to be them standing guard, or... Yeah. That would mean you turn this way, right? The cat turned this way, went through the street. But then... Oh, I see. That's the... Okay, so it turned left at the first statue. Then it went through 4 houses. Yes, I mean it crossed through here. But then it somehow went straight by another statue. Oh, maybe it went... Did it only cross 2 statues, though, is the question. I'm guessing it only crossed 2, no? Because, like... I don't know how else this would work. Unless it went like this? But then it could turn left. But no, it has to cross this one. It's not supposed to turn here. So that doesn't make any sense. So it turns left at a statue. It goes through a 4-way intersection with a house on each corner. And then it passes by another one. But from the right. So it has to be going like around this way or something. Or like around this way. What if it goes down here? Passes through. I guess it could go... Well, no, I guess it can't though. Okay, what if it goes this way? No, it doesn't work either, because if it turns here, then it goes through here, then it gets stuck. Why these guards want to track the cat so much? They desperate for some pussy. No, they were just trying to save the cat. The cat was clearly a stray cat. I mean, definitely didn't belong to anyone. The knights have nothing better to do than to catch stray cats all day. Instead of guarding who knows what. You know, I bet these witches wouldn't attack so much if these guards were doing their job. Just point it out there. Okay, how do we cross all 3 of these clues? So I have to somehow, like, double back and approach it from a different angle. It's the only way. Oh, you know what? It's probably this. Because in this way... Okay, so I guess it can still cross the 3rd one. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. We can do whatever we want with the 3rd one. But it has to, at one of the statues, turn left, when approaching it from the right. So that's turning left, approaching from the right. Turns in a counterclockwise direction. We need to pass straight from left to right on another statue, so that's the middle one down there. And then we have to go through a four-way with a house at each. So this is the only spot that can work, so we have to go all the way through, no turning. So that's the only path I can see that seems to match those requirements.
Let's do it, Luke.
Perfect.
Yes, we did it!
Fantastic. Looks as if Eve took a little stroll down the center of town. Follow after her. See nothing, heard nothing, know nothing. And we're not going to tell. Hmm?
We've worked out where Eve is, Maya. And you know where she's going, don't you?
I sure do. Looks like she ran off toward the town square.
No, we didn't even tell you. How did you work it out? Did you read our minds?
Oh, the answer was in the puzzle. Say, shouldn't you be getting back before your captain goes ballistic?
Touché.
We're close to finding Eve, Luke.
Right, let's go and find her before she goes running off somewhere else.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I could really get used to this whole puzzle-solving thing. You know, it's like the moment I saw the answer, it just felt so right. And I was right.
I was right too, you know. Anyway, let's go.
Can't believe the cat was the evil witch the entire time. Yo, what if it is, though? I mean, we don't know all the spells that exist in this world. What if the cat actually is the Great Witch this whole time? Where are we going? Is it here? I forget where it said we were going. I guess not here, because we can't talk to anyone here. Follow Eve to the square. Wait, oh, let me read that again. Okay, follow Eve to the square. It looks like Eve has now gone to the town square. Let's go pick up the pace. Okay, town square. Oh, it's here. Wow, okay. I guess it would be the giant floating exclamation mark. I don't see any cats. Oh.
It's you.
Hi, Inquisitor.
Darklaw.
Oh, if it isn't you two. Isn't it a bit late for you to be out here strolling around?
So what are you doing here anyway?
Out here strolling around. Am I right?
You seem a little different somehow. Well, well. Aren't you the inquisitive ones? I'm the Inquisitor here, remember? Anyway, what happened to be on duty? On duty? This late at night? As long as there are witches in this town, there'll always be crimes of magic. I'm directing the night's inquiry into a certain incident involving this bell tower. Well, certain incident? 3 months ago, an alchemist residing not far from here was murdered. Naturally, it was at the hand of a witch.
Did you say an alchemist?
If they were an alchemist, why aren't they rich? That house looks like shit.
A witch murdered an alchemist using magic? That's terrible. Indeed, it was a dreadful incident, and it is the only case to remain unsolved. The only incident to remain unsolved? That's the reason we're working on it throughout the night. Go home to the comfort of your beds. We wouldn't want you meeting a witch now, would we?
Oh, I'm no child, you know.
That's we, Luke. We have to be searching for a cat. It's a black cat called Eve. Eve? Hey, have you seen her? I have seen no sign of any cat. Not around here. Oh, really? But she has to be somewhere nearby. Come on, Luke. Let's have a look around. Yeah. Right you are, Maya. Well, thank you, High Inquisitor Darklaw. Maya Fey. Yes, what is it? Wait, that's weird. I don't remember telling you my name. There are witches in the most unlikely of places. You must remain vigilant. What did she mean by that? What if Luke and Wright are witches? I don't know. Just putting it out there. Maybe both of them are witches. And the only real people here are Maya and Professor Layton. Hey, Maya, over here. I found Eve. What's the matter? Come on. Yeah. Okay. I'm coming. She is the High Inquisitor and leader of the Inquisition. Her stance on witches and witchcraft is strict, as is her attitude towards her subordinates. Working alone relentlessly at night, she appears to embrace a hate for witches. As yet, I do not know why. There she is. Eve, we found you. Finally. I'm so glad you're safe. Spella would be so upset if anything happened to you. She sure would, Luke. She said that Eve is a real friend. Hopefully the boss will feel better too when we get Eve back home. I'm sure she will. Come on then, let's go back to the bakery. That took us longer than I thought it would. I wonder if everyone's asleep. It's getting close to daybreak. We should enter quietly and try not to wake anyone. Oh god, they're gonna be so fucking tired in the morning. Ask me how I know. Where on earth could those two have gone? After what happened earlier, you'd think they'd know better than to go wandering out at night like this. It's getting bright out already. I'm starting to worry they came across a witch. If they don't show up soon, I suggest we all go looking for them. After a trial like that, it makes me wonder where they get their energy from. Oh, Eve! Where were you? Good morning, everyone. What do you mean, good morning? Where have you two been this whole time? Sorry. We didn't expect to be gone for so long. I'd have thought you know better, Luke. What were you doing out there this hour? Oh, Maya's a bad influence on Luke. This was a terrible idea. Sorry, Professor. We went looking for Eve. Looking for Eve, you say? You mean you were both concerned that Eve was missing? Well, when Espella comes home, she'll want Eve to beat her, won't she? After all, Eve is like a member of the family. Oh, you dears. That's very considerate of you. Thank you. But I want you to promise me that you won't go wandering around that late at night like that again. It's just not safe, what with all those witches out there. We promise. I'm sorry, boss. Oh, I'm sorry too. I should say, it's nearly morning already. Why don't you both go and get yourselves cleaned up? I've already prepared breakfast, so jump to it. Yes, ma'am. Come to think of it, I'm so hungry, I could eat one of my Aries goats. How about you, Luke?
Now that you mention it, I'm definitely ready for breakfast.
Yeah, careful with your words there. Don't want to go saying you'd eat an entire loaf of bread again. Because you know she's going to make another one. You certainly both love your food. Personally, I just like a little more sleep.
Right then. Let's eat breakfast and make our way to the court. Right you are, Professor. I'm sure Isabella must be feeling lonely. Oh, and Mr. Wright, could you perhaps take something from the bakery for her?
You bet. I'm sure Isabella would be glad to get some of Patty's freshly baked bread. Come on, what are you all waiting for? Breakfast is ready. Alright, alright. We're coming.
Well then, let's dig in. As it seems we're all ready to go, shall we make our way to the court? So does everyone remember how to get there?
Sure, we just head east from here. And it's on the other side of the forest, isn't it?
Boy, Isabella must be feeling so sad and lonely. Let's get a move on. Let's go.
Alright, time to head back to court. That's not court. Wait, how do we get to court? Oh, we go this way. There we go. I thought we had to go up and around for some reason.
Coming back here makes me remember yesterday's trial.
Isabella is still being held somewhere inside the building.
Yeah, and it's up to us to get her out as soon as we can.
The first thing we should do is make sure we're allowed to see her. You there! Yes, you!
Uh-oh. There's nothing like a confrontation first thing in the morning to keep you on your toes.
We're here to, visit our client.
It's not you who we're interested in. It's Dogcat over there. He's to come with us immediately.
Who, sir?
Me, sir? Yes, sir. You, sir. What have you done this time?
Professor, did you do something?
I wonder what it could be. Luke, do you have any idea?
Professor?
Don't play innocent with us. You all came from the storyteller himself. You have been personally summoned to the audience room to see the storyteller.
The audience room?
Meeting the storyteller in person is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon a person. There's no one in all of Labyrinthia who wouldn't be proud to meet him. That goes for us knights too, although such an honor is almost unheard of. Nevertheless, those were the orders. To have Herschel Layton make his way to the audience room.
Very well. And in this audience room, the storyteller will be waiting to see me. Is that correct? What? Why does the storyteller want to see you, Professor? Yeah, what's going on here anyway? Would it be possible to go there after having seen Miss Cantabella?
Storyteller's order is of the absolute highest priority. Nothing can take precedence.
But...
Not only that, but in any event, you're not permitted to see the accused.
Why would that be?
Permission to see the accused is restricted to Defender Wright and his assistant. Those are the orders.
Those sound like sound orders to me. I guess they're just not Wright's assistants.
What do you make of that, Professor?
Make of it what you will. Orders are orders.
Very well. Let's go and meet the storyteller.
That's more like it.
Professor, are you really planning on meeting with the storyteller? It might be a trap.
Well, I do sense the potential for such a scheme here. I'd be foolish not to pass up the opportunity to meet with this town's creator. There are rather too many things that I would like to ask him.
I see.
If the professor is going, then I'm going too. After all, I am the professor's apprentice.
Be careful, Luke. I'm sure you'll be just fine, as long as you stay with the professor.
I will. And please give Isabella our best. Oh, and Maya, could you give Isabella the bread for Mrs. Eclair?
Sure thing, Luke.
Well, if you finally finished talking, I would suggest wasting no more time. You'll find the audience room beyond the guard post, east of the Great Archive. And Defender, you should see the accused.
Well, it would seem we must go our separate ways for the time being.
Yeah, looks like it. Well, take care, Professor.
And you, Mr. Wright. I wish you both luck.
Can't remember which one we do first. Or if we get to choose. Oh, okay, we're doing Wright and Maya.
Well, they go. Do you think they'll be okay?
The Professor and Luke? I think they can take care of themselves. Anyway, we should hurry up and talk to Isabella.
Right. Even though she tries to hide it, inside she must be terrified.
What if she's found guilty of being a witch?
What would we do then? Last night we saw her with our own eyes, what they do to witches.
Is this like a world where the death penalty has been absolved or something? Because, I mean, isn't that a thing that they do in the United States? You know, they kill murderers?
It's not right. Any world where things like that are allowed to happen isn't right.
Like, is that not a thing in California and Los Angeles? Do they not kill murderers? They don't strap them to the electric chair or give them an injection or something? Because if so, then yeah, fair. I get the reaction, but it seems kind of weird if it's the case that they do still have the death penalty. Now, mind you, they don't usually kill the person in the court itself. It's not a spectacle. So, I mean, that I understand. I saw that new Twister movie. Oh yeah, they've made a sequel by putting an S at the end of the movie. I don't even know what the plot of the first one was. It was just like how do you make a movie about a tornado? And now they made another movie about multiple tornadoes? Like, okay, sure, I guess. I know, Maya, but for now we have no choice. We have to clear a spell of the charges. We need to focus on that and that alone.
The Great Witch Bazella. I wonder why they suspect Isabella of being here.
I don't know. But if we're lucky, maybe she'll be able to shed some light on it.
Hey, Defender! It's time for you to see the accused.
Well, this is it, Nick.
Sure is. Let's go, Maya. So what was this new Twister movie about? Because like I didn't think the original. I know the original is very popular, but I didn't think it was like worthy to get a sequel of any sort, even like a 30+ year later sequel. It just seemed like one of those one-off movies that people enjoyed at the time. Oh, is this how we're talking to her? We don't get like a visitor room or anything like that? No interview room?
Ah, Mr. Wright, Maya, Spella.
So this is the Death Knell dungeon. It looks more like solitary confinement to me.
Don't worry, I'm fine, really. I was a little surprised at how hard the bed was, though.
Spella.
Oh, that's right. I have something for you here. The boss made it for you.
You know, it's kind of weird that this, like, dungeon has a giant gaping window that you can just, like, stick your head through. And that looks big enough she could crawl through it. Like, if someone... This seems like a bad setup. Like, what if you had someone visit a criminal and they decide to just, like, help him out through the window of the door? She could totally fit through that window.
Look, it's a special walnut bread. You should try it.
It's more about tornado chasers, people who run towards tornadoes on our way. Oh, okay. Well, is it like a documentary then?
Because, like, wasn't the original, like, a thriller or something like that? Like, that's why I never knew what the plot was of Twister, because I was under the impression it was, like, meant to be a thriller or some sort of action movie. Not, like, an actual realistic movie of any sort. Kind of like, what was the one about the fire? That was also from the 90s. Fuck, I forgot what it was called. But there's like another similar movie that they made. I think it came out around the same time even. It was like about a bunch of like fires or something.
Aunt Patty made that for me. Thank you, Maya. We'll get you home soon. Then we can all sit down and eat Patty's freshly baked bread together.
Yeah, that would be nice. We're gonna have you out of here soon, so don't you worry, Espella.
But are you sure you want to do that?
What are you talking about, Espella?
Do you really want to continue defending me, Mr. Wright?
What? Of course I do. What made you say that?
You both know what I've been charged with, don't you?
Sure we do. They were accusing you of being Bezella, the source of all witches here in Labyrinthia. Yeah, you know, nothing crazy. That's like, you know, you're the lawyers for like Hitler, and it's like, and you're just like, yeah, we know you're being charged with like genocide of an entire race. No big deal. That's all this is.
That's right. And anyone who defends such a suspect will also come under suspicion themselves. People are likely to criticize you and make you suffer, all on my account. I can't ask you to defend me. I don't want you suffering because of me.
Well, I'm sure the movie is a thriller, but like when I think of a thriller, I don't think of like a documentary thriller. I think of like something completely over the top and exaggerated for the sake of drama thriller. But I don't know, maybe the original was like that too. Maybe this is a movie that's similar to it. Was it good at least? I don't know. Did the Twisters get a good reviews? It seemed like such an out of nowhere movie. Like what an IP to bring back from the dead. Listen to me, Espella. We're already suffering just seeing you here in this prison. Do you honestly think we just stand around not doing anything?
Mr. Wright.
Hey, I think I get it, Espella. I bet you're just worried that Nick will slip up the way he always does. It's okay, Mia will definitely bail him out, right? That's how it always works, right?
Huh?
Trust me, there's nothing to worry about. The professor and Luke are on our side, though, too.
Huh? No. That's not what I meant. I wouldn't think that at all. Mr. Wright, you were just amazing. You and Mr. Layton both. It was like you were working magic together.
Well, that settles it then, Espella. And don't worry, we're gonna be there for you. We'll fight to the very end. The two of us, the professor, and Luke. We'll all be working together on this one. We won't let you down.
What's wrong with Espella? It's just that the only one who's ever been this kind to me before is Aunt Patty. I don't know what to say.
Espella, I'm not sure how to say this, but it seems that the townsfolk are distancing themselves from you. It's as if they fear you for some reason. Yeah, I can't believe they all think a cute girl like you could be the Great Witch. Espella, we heard from the High Inquisitor Darklaw that there's a reason why people are so suspicious of you. If it's okay with you, we'd like you to tell us what that reason is. The reason the townsfolk suspect you, and why they are so distant.
All right. I guess I never had the chance to explain properly.
Eh? It's true that the townsfolk look at me differently. And the reason for that is, well, because I am.
It's not a documentary at all. Oh, okay. Just, so it sounds like it's pretty much, it's similar to the original then. Cool. Well, it's nice to see someone pull off, like, a sequel like that. Take some popular movie from, like, 30 years ago and manage to follow it up. I guess kind of similar to Top Gun in that regard then. Or whatever Top Gun 2 was called.
Well, Professor, we've reached the library. And the place at which the storyteller is waiting for us is east of here, isn't it?
Indeed. According to the knight, the audience room is past the guard post.
I wonder what the creator of Labyrinthia wants to talk to you about, Professor.
It's too soon to assume anything, Luke. But whatever it might be, I have a few things I would like to ask him too. We should be thankful this opportunity has come so soon. Even if it is part of some scheme.
Let's go, Professor. To the audience room.
Yeah, I'm sure the professor has a few choice words for the storyteller. Like, why is he gotta get people killed with his stories?
Want you? Herschel Layton, the Hatter? Well, I'm not a Hatter, although I certainly am Herschel Layton. I've been told that my presence is requested in the audience room. Well, I've definitely heard something about that, but it's beyond me why. With all due respect, why would the storyteller invite mere commoners to the audience room?
Aren't people normally allowed to visit?
Of course not. Both the audience room and the lower tower in which he resides are areas of strict surveillance. One does not simply visit the storyteller.
Did you say tower?
The storyteller's tower, naturally. Don't tell me you've never heard of it. He only comes out of his tower to appear before the people in his parades. The audience room is where the storyteller comes whenever there's a parade. We, the Order of the Knights, provide his protection from this guard post. We feel honored by his presence, even if he doesn't speak to us. I see. Then it would seem we are extremely privileged to have been invited here. Don't let it go to your head. Wait here while I open the gate.
Come to think of it, during the parade, the storyteller did seem to be held in high esteem by all the townsfolk.
I mean, it's almost like he's God or something.
Indeed, Luke. After all, he is the author of this town's story. So he's effectively like some kind of god.
See, Layton gets it.
Like a god?
No, someone tell me this isn't happening. There seems to be some commotion over there.
What's that knight? He's coming back this way and he doesn't look too happy.
This is bad. Really bad. What am I going to do? What's the matter? Well, actually, Dark Hat, the gates won't open. It's broken. I can't fix it.
So what happens now?
I wish I knew. What am I going to do? We need to do something. Can't keep the storyteller waiting. Well, if we do, there goes my career as a knight. Unless, aren't you two meant to be good at finding people?
Finding people? I wouldn't say we're particularly good.
But don't say that. I need your help here. There's one knight who's able to fix the gates, but he's busy training with the other knights. Well, I'd like to call him back here without disturbing the others. But in armor, they all look the same. The only way to identify him is to look for a knight with an unusually shaped sword.
Unusually shaped sword? How interesting.
Professor, doesn't that mean...
Indeed, my boy. It means we can tackle this the same way we would a puzzle.
So, will you find him?
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Of course. It's always a puzzle. Everything's a puzzle to him. It's lunchtime, and the knights are all eager to eat their share. They have all stabbed their swords into the massive piece of meat at the same time. One of the swords is not standard knight issue, and has an oddly curved blade. Examine the blades and find the owner of the strange sword. Touch the touchscreen to circle a point of interest. After circling your answer, touch submit to see if you answer correctly. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm going to use the memo for this one here. This seems like a good way to go about it. Let's use green for the first couple here. So, I think logically, this kind of makes sense here. Those swords look like they line up. This one here also kind of makes sense. Like that's pretty much straight. I'm terrible at drawing straight lines, but it's good enough for the purpose of this. The one that kind of confuses me a bit. Well, that leaves these last two, and I don't know. See, this one here doesn't quite line up. Like, we change colors in this one just so we can highlight the suspicious ones. This one doesn't, like... Oh, let me draw a better line here. Because if we were to go straight down... Like, it doesn't quite line up with this. This one definitely lines up. I'm thinking it's this little guy here. Yeah, because just like, you look at the way it's pointing, the tip of it's pointing by the top one's fist. It's like, it just doesn't quite make sense. Even the one from the left that's going straight through to the right makes sense. I mean, if the swords are curved, I mean, you could kind of argue any of them could be curved. But if we're to assume that they're all as straight as possible, which I think is the only way you can really go about this, without losing any semblance of logic, then it's got to be that one, I think. Alright, let's give it a try. I'm committing to it.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills.
Hell yeah, first try, let's go.
May, puzzles are there to be solved.
Correct. The smallest knight appears to be the one wielding the strange sword. Yeah, see, told you. It's like, it doesn't quite line up. The other ones, like, are almost look off, but that one in particular, my inability to draw straight lines definitely made that a lot harder than it needed to be. Thanks to you, Sir Hatter, I've been able to have it repaired immediately. I'm glad you were able to fix it. A puzzle like that is a piece of cake for the professor. As I suspected all along, certainly are no ordinary gentlemen. Sir Hatter, Herschel Layton shall henceforth be allowed to pass through this gate freely. Thank you, kind sir. Please make your way to the storyteller as swiftly as possible. I smell a puzzle in this one. Maybe. There's the parade float. Wow! No matter where I look, there are knights everywhere. Yes, indeed. The knights have their guard posts on this side of the gate. Given the grandness of the scale, I imagine they are living here too. Well, I wonder exactly where around here we're supposed to meet the storyteller. That knight said go to the audience room, wherever that is. With the name as grand as audience room, you'd think it'd be easy to notice. Luke, can you see the long flight of stairs over there? I think we should go and take a look. A flight of stairs? Ah, I see it. There's also a building over there. Looks rather stately. Do you think that's where the audience room is? Indeed, my boy. However, there seems to be something going on over there. And from the looks of things, I don't think we'll be able to just ignore it and stroll right by. At any rate, let's go and take a look.
How many times do I gotta tell you? I ain't the suspicious guy you're after. What do you expect us to believe you just because you say so, eh? You can save us all time and trouble here. Just admit your guilt and be done with it. You gotta be kidding me. This is a false accusation. Come on, why won't you listen to me? Well, I admit my face might look a little scary, sure. But I'm telling you straight. My pals are always saying there's no one with a purer heart than good old Cutter. Oh, spare me the... We're getting nowhere here. Wait, Knights! Yes, sir. Put this miserable wretch into solitary confinement. Yes, sir, Captain. Oi, oi. What are you doing? I'm innocent. Innocent, I tell you. You seem to have your hands full here. May I ask what happened? Oh, if it isn't you two. Do you mean to tell me you're the ones the storyteller summoned? That's us, alright. So you can't go chasing us around this way you did before? Rots. By the way, Captain, what has that man been accused of? What has he done? Well, he's guilty of carrying out a heinous crime of assault and theft. How many times do I gotta say it? It weren't me. It's a false accusation. I'm totally innocent. Silence! Who else could have done it? Could you tell me a little bit more about this? Well, I had a feeling you'd want to know. You seem to like poking your nose in other people's businesses. A series of thefts have been occurring in this town, while at the same time a suspicious figure has been sighted. Now, I ask you, does this man not look suspicious to you? Clearly it has to be him.
I see why they arrested a speller now.
You got it all wrong. I heard there was a thief in the area. That's why I teamed up with them townsfolk to keep a lookout for the boider. Well, that ain't all. I even found a way to make sure every dang corner of the town was being watched. We placed ourselves in positions where we didn't obstruct one another's line of sight. Catch my drift? This suspicious figure you guys mentioned, there ain't no way that was me. So you're saying that you watched every part of the town, while at the same time avoiding overlapping with each other's search? Well, it's impossible. You committed the crimes and you're lying to cover yourself.
I wonder if you're perhaps mistaken. It might just be true. For example, if they position themselves like this. Alright, time to beat the captain with facts and logic once again. There are reports of a thief lurking around in the town center. Townsfolk are in charge of guard duty. There are two conditions for their stakeout. They have a perfect view of all the streets. Their viewing range never overlaps. With that in mind, do you think you can place the townsfolk in the correct spots? Oh boy. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so we know two of them for sure. So, same townsfolk have the same kind of look pattern. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Trying to find, like, what's a good spot for this one. Like that, maybe? We need to cover every single square is the tricky part. Okay, so she looks in a cross. What do you look at? Oh, you look very... You have a very far look. So you look exactly 3 blocks in each direction. So he could totally fill that spot, for example. That almost seems like a waste, but I'm gonna leave it there for a bit. The kid has like the least amount of distance. That actually might work out in my favor, though. Okay, this actually almost works. Trying to think where we could put this last one, because... Yeah, that's... Actually... Oh, that does work. Huh.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving
I can't believe the
skills.
captain couldn't see this. Is the captain stupid?
No less from a gentleman.
Excellent. Turns out the dubious-looking gentleman was telling the truth.
I would have never guessed such a solution could exist. So do you believe me now? I was telling the truth. The real culprit must still be on the loose, going around stealing stuff in broad daylight. Men, looks like we have no choice. Let him go. We better head back to the crime scene and look it over again with a fine-tooth comb. Yes, Captain. Well, I'm glad we were able to sort out the misunderstanding. I don't know who you two are, but you're a bit too sharp to be some regular townsfolk. Not at all. We're nothing so special. Just a couple of regular English gentlemen. English, eh? So what is that? Your title? Well, whatever it may be, or it's not normal to be summoned directly by the storyteller himself. It would appear you are indeed something special. Storyteller's in the audience room. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. What's for the audience room? It's in the building at the top of those stairs. That building up there. Just as we thought. Thank you. Just mind your manners when in the presence of the storyteller, you hear me? If I hear any sign of trouble, you'll regret it.
We'll be on our best behavior, so please keep your hand off your sword. You're scaring me. Just goes to show how highly the knights regard the storyteller. Now then, let's move on, Luke. All right, let's go, Professor.
Alright, let's go talk to the storyteller. Or are we gonna get locked out of here too?
Storyteller should be in here, right? I'm starting to feel a little nervous. This area is totally deserted. All I can hear is the wind. It looks as if not even the knights are allowed to come up here. He really is treated almost like a god. I wonder what someone like that wants to talk to us about.
Anything here? A puzzle? Oh my god. What's this?
What is it, Professor? Have a look at this, Luke. There's a puzzle concealed here. In a situation like this, perhaps solving a puzzle might help to relieve stress. Oh, I think you're right, Professor.
Not even like reminded of a puzzle. It's just like, oh, there's a puzzle sitting on this balcony, waiting to be solved. Ghastly figures now haunt the interior of this mysterious mansion, and I have been tasked with ridding in its halls of their ilk. If I'm to succeed in my mission, I must light all of the candles to vanquish these fiends. This room seems to rotate. Use this to your advantage and rotate the room so I might reach the candles. Note, the candles will light up or extinguish each time the night passes by. Okay. It's one of these puzzles. I love these things. I made a game of one of these before. Except it wasn't about rotating the room. That's not gonna really work the way I want it to. Okay, we're gonna have to go a different way here. It's clearly the wrong approach. If I grab this one... Oh, but then we get stuck there. Fuck. I didn't think of that. Okay, we'll go back around. This is the Skylanders lock puzzle, is that what it is? I don't know if it has like an actual name. I played like, not only Flash games of this, but I played like games that predated Flash that were this kind of puzzle, this kind of game. I have no idea what the actual name of these things is supposed to be. I doubt anyone actually does. I've googled it before. It seems like no one knows what genre of puzzle this is, or what it's based on. Like, you know how there's like a million clones of like Kicks? Or what was the other name that was for it? I think it was like on Mac, had a different name, something Ball? Like, was it like Intelligent Ball or something like that? Where you had to like draw the squares without touching the enemies to get points? Or like Pipe Dream was another one. Okay, so that's now done. So if we go this way, there we go. Now I fixed my problem.
I've already seen the answer. Come what may, puzzles are there to be solved.
Excellent. That was quite a dizzying experience. Amazing what a little light can do for the atmosphere of a room. And that's it. That's the puzzle. Actually, does it say how many secret puzzles are here? Oops, I wanted to see how many puzzles were in this area. Oh, there's one hidden puzzle back there, too. Okay, you know what? This is the first time we've had hidden puzzles. I'm gonna go and solve it. I haven't seen hidden puzzles. There might have been, like, NPCs that we've missed. But I'm gonna look for the puzzle. That's a hint coin. Okay, it's not the NPC, because I don't think NPCs count as towards hidden puzzles.
This is no good. It's been 3 days and 3 nights, but I still don't get it.
What is it that you don't understand?
Whoa, don't frighten me like that. How long have you been there?
We've been here for quite some time now.
Well, I suppose I can tell you. See, I've been doing my mind training. Last night's my strength. Not just physically, but mentally too.
Training of the mind. How delightful. As a gentleman, I always endeavor to keep my thinking flexible too.
Your comment exudes a confidence. But if you are so self-assured, why not try solving this puzzle? This is a chess puzzle based on a brave fight between knights. Trouble is, no matter how hard I try, I can't defeat the Black Knight.
Did you try homing attack it? That seems to work very well. Well, this is certainly no chess I've ever seen. Two opposing sets of knight chess pieces are engaged in battle. In order to win, your chess piece must topple the enemy piece. Chess knights move 2 squares forwards and 1 square perpendicular in each turn. The initial direction can be up, down, left, or right. Be careful, the board is filled with pits and spaces that will move your piece in the direction shown. Gray color spaces are areas which you can move, touch them. Okay, cool. Jump the opposing black knight piece will move from the board, defeat them all to continue. Okay. I see. Alright, this is definitely going to be something. Okay, well, the only real valid place I can go is up here. Because any other square is going to lead me to nothing. Either in circles or nowhere. That's going to get me stuck if I go upright. Or, yeah, upright. If I go to the right... If I go right up, that's going to put me in a pit. Right down is going to put me back where I was. That's a pit, so the only valid place is here. Oh, and then we go here. And then that's it. We did it. Puzzle solved.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
Are there any chess puzzles in Skylanders? I love chess puzzles. Oh, this one was like really good chess puzzle.
Well, you beat the Black Knight. If I could just remember how you did that. Alright. Now if I can beat him, he can keep guard of this area next week instead of me.
Keep guard? Instead of you?
No, it's purely for mind training. Believe me.
Sounds a little fishy to me. Is that considered a hidden puzzle? I don't think it is. No, it's not. So we still have to find a hidden puzzle. Because I think up to this point, the only puzzles we missed elsewhere were from, like, NPCs that we didn't talk to. There it is. Oh, let me guess. Is this the other ghost puzzle?
Professor, I think there are mice hiding up here.
Take a closer look, Luke. You may notice that there are not only mice hiding here.
Eh? I see what you mean, Professor. There's a hidden puzzle here, too. Just leave it to me, Professor. I can handle a puzzle like this, no problem.
This puzzle might prove to be a little tricky. Take a deep breath and do your best. If you think it's too much for you right now, you can always select quit and come back to it later.
Right you are, Professor.
How bad could it be? Is it like 80 pick rats? Oh, it's only 25? Oh, come on. It seems some mice have taken up residence in the house. They're particularly fond of the delicious cheese kept there. Tilt the table left, right, up, and down to send the mice sliding across the surface. Each slide of the 4 mice so they end up in the traps. Make sure to do not touch the cheese. Alright, trap all the mice, don't touch cheese. Got it. Okay, what is the safest way that we can go here? That one. That's the safest way we can go. Oh, fuck, I messed up. Let's try that. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, I definitely messed up then. That mouse in the top needs to come down now. The only problem is, how do I get it over... How do I get it out of there? Oh, you know what? I think I definitely know how I messed up. We go to the right first, and then up, and then to the left. That's the one that needs to get trapped in there. Otherwise, it's just nothing's happening. And then if we go over this way, wait, no, undo. I can't go down. We can go to the right. That's fine. Get that one trapped. And then we can just do whatever we want with the last one.
This is my answer. Professor, I did it!
Consider this cheesy battle over and done. There we go. Puzzle found and solved. Alright, let's go talk to the storyteller. Oh, wow. Another puzzle. Huh? Professor, the door won't open. Hello? Is anyone there? No reply. It appears there is no keyhole. This is no ordinary lock mechanism. Invited someone to visit you only to lock them out? That's a bit rude. Just a moment, Luke. If you look closely, you'll see there's a puzzle built in here. I believe this may be a test, Luke. A test to determine whether we qualify for an audience with the storyteller or not. That's a bit off, isn't it? Oh, when it comes to puzzles, we'll be glad to oblige, won't we, Professor? Indeed, my boy. Let's show a medal. The storyteller heard how much they love puzzles. And so they set up a series of challenges for him. What is this puzzle? Here's a panel of numbers. The numbers range between 1 and 6. Touching the buttons on the touchscreen will increase and decrease the numbers. Arrange the numbers to read 3333. Do you think you can do it in only 4 turns? Okay. So we have to get them to 3333. Numbers on the panel loop from 1 to 6. All it takes is a little calculation. Okay. Actually, we'll do equal for this one. So we need to get to 3333. So if we go 4 down, that's 6, 5, 4. Yeah, okay, that does what I thought it did, so that's good. And then if we put them up 1, 4, 5, 6, that'll go to 2, that'll go to 2, and that'll go to 1. That'll go to 2, but then, Okay, if we do... So we need to move this one, the second one down 2, and the third one up 2. That's it. But then we need to offset them. Like that.
Allow me to show you my
4 moves.
puzzle-solving skills.
Just like it said.
That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
That's right. Just hitting the buttons at random until you end up with the solution can also be fun. It looks like the gate is opening. It could be fun, but it'd make you
Professor?
look like a damn
That
idiot.
should open the door.
It would seem that we have proven ourselves worthy.
Labyrinthia's creator is waiting for us inside.
This game needs contextual auto advance on the text, like
The creator
FF14.
of this town. I wonder what he intends to say. Are you all right, Luke? I imagine you must be a little nervous.
Who, me? Well, to be honest, I suppose I am, just a little. But don't worry, Professor. I can do this. Let's go. Let's meet the storyteller.
Very well. Muster your courage. We're going in.
Right you are, Professor.
Thus, the guests finally made their appearance.
Oh shit. He knew we were coming. We really did fall in his trap. This is all part of his story. Did you write down the part where we struggled with the torch puzzle?
I bid you welcome to Labyrinthia, the town governed by stories. I've been waiting for you, Herschel Layton.
I believe I should say, it is an honor, Mr. Storyteller.
You're the creator of Labyrinthia. But why did you call the professor here?
I have summoned you so that I may ask you why you are here.
I beg your pardon?
What are you talking about?
What, are we not in any of your stories? Then what the hell were you just writing?
In writing the story, I provide everything, and in turn, take everything away. I give each person a story, and weave the intertwining webs of fate. However, it would appear that interlopers have found their way into the story. The two of you.
You mean to say that my presence here was not written in your story?
Precisely. And so I must ask you, exactly how did you find your way into this world?
In truth, we found ourselves here somewhat inadvertently. We were brought here by a book called the Historia Labyrinthia. I am led to believe it was you who wrote that book. Surely you cannot deny it.
It would appear I have found it. The source of the corruption within my story.
Corruption?
In other words, you consider our presence to be a hindrance to your story.
It's
Is that correct?
That's definitely a smash. Whoa, hang on. We look at the same person here?
Not only you, there was another man who tried to change the course of my story.
You got a thing for authors or something?
Ah,
You mean Carmina Accidenti?
Carmine. So, there is a connection between him and the two of you after all.
Oops.
Your presence here is, shall I say, a slight inconvenience.
I mean, we have been
The story
causing a lot of
Labyrinthia
trouble.
is about to take a turn towards its grand finale.
grand finale?
Indeed, a conclusion that requires a climax of epic proportions.
He just wants an interesting
The
story.
identity of the great witch Bazella is made public. She is tried in the court and finally destroyed. At last, peace will be restored to the town. The final scenario is close at hand.
The identity of the Great Witch? Do you mean...
Ah,
Why does the storyteller sound familiar? I need to see who voices him, because his name, he sounds familiar. I know this guy from something else. No, I guess not. I guess he just has a very similar voice that I've heard before. Couldn't tell you where. This guy's literally done no other video game work aside from like Risen 2, apparently. He just has a very similar sounding voice.
It's true the townsfolk look at me in a different way. And the reason for that is because I am the storyteller's daughter. You're what? Isabella.
You're the storyteller's daughter? I didn't see that coming. See, she can't be the Great Witch. Why would the storyteller write his own daughter to be the villain? That doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you this, she's innocent.
When I first came down into the town, everyone was friendly. Perhaps they thought that if they got to know me, things would go well for them. That was the impression I had. That sounds like the kind of thing people would probably do. But obviously not me. I wouldn't do anything like that. No one's accusing you of anything, Maya. Yet. Keyword yet. In before Maya gets accused of being a witch. But unfortunately, things didn't work out the way people hoped they would. Well, people should realize that good things don't come easy. Then one day, someone just happened to bump into me in the town, and I was knocked over. Later, that night, that same person was attacked by a witch and killed using her magic. I don't know whether it was just a coincidence or not, but after that, everyone's attitude towards me changed. They started saying things like, "It's best to keep away from her, or you'll have a bad story written about you." All because I'm the storyteller's daughter. What's the storyteller thinking? What do you mean? Well, he has his daughter stuck in a place like this. And if he didn't write such a bad story, she wouldn't have to suffer like this.
You have a good point there, Maya. Anyway, the investigation has only just begun. Isabella, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you a few more questions.
Of course. I'd like to help in any way I can.
I feel like this game barely started, we're getting big twists like this, huh? Yeah, that means we're gonna get even bigger twists later, right? That's Professor Layton for you. There's never a dull moment in the story. There's always something new around the corner. Gotta gather as much information as I can. This might be difficult for you to answer, but why are you not living with the storyteller? I mean, with your father?
I did live with him before. We lived together on the edge of the town, in the storyteller's tower.
The storyteller's tower?
When I was little, he was very kind, and always listened to what I had to say. But then, at some point or other, he started to become distant. If you think about it, I guess it's only natural. Because he had to write the story for every single person in the town. Spella. As he became busier and busier, I was left alone in the tower. And that's the reason I decided to leave home with Eve and live in the town. I stayed with Aunt Patty and helped out at the bakery. Now you two are at the shop too, but my dad...
What's the deal with the storyteller? Can't believe he'd write a story where his own daughter is the Great Witch Bazella.
Maybe the professor will be able to find out the storyteller's true motives. And what about Patty? Does she know anything about your past? Have you ever told her that you're the storyteller's daughter? Yes, she knows. When the other people in town started avoiding me, Aunt Patty was the only one who stood by me that whole time. Yeah, Patty's always looking out for you. There's so much I have to thank her for. It's been 5 years since I left my dad and started living with Aunt Patty. She's always been so kind. She's been like a mother to me. Now that you mention it, what about your real mother, Isabella? Actually, I can't remember anything about her. According to my dad, she died in an accident when I was still young. And that's really all I know. He didn't tell me any more than that. I see.
Maya's a witch. Yeah, Maya's definitely the witch here. I mean, have you seen what she's capable of? If anyone is a witch in this town, it's 100% her. What if Maya is actually Ispella's mother? And she just also forgot, just like everyone else conveniently seems to forget all the time. Isabella, we believe in you. There's no way you can be the Great Witch Bezella.
That's right. That's why we'll find the real Great Witch. The real Great Witch? But the Great Witch is only a character of legend. How could you possibly find her?
I mean, I don't know. Ask the other townspeople. They seem convinced you're the Great Witch, so she's clearly not a legend. Well, admittedly, at the moment we have no real leads.
Actually, to be honest, we know next to nothing about Labyrinthia. We were supposed to have been living with you for 5 years now. But that memory turned out to be completely phony. Do you have any ideas at all, Isabella? About anything that could give us a clue?
I guess it's a lot to ask.
All magic-related incidents are thoroughly investigated by the Knights of the Inquisition. And if there were any clues as to the whereabouts of the Great Witch, then I believe they would have found them.
I guess you're right.
As far as I know, there's not a single incident that has remained unsolved by the Inquisitors. Wait a minute, that's not right.
What is it, Maya?
The part about there being no unsolved incidents left. What? Last night, me and Luke ran into High Inquisitor Darklaw.
Wait, what? You saw High Inquisitor Darklaw?
Yep. She said she was investigating some kind of incident with magic. She said that it took place 3 months ago, I think. Apparently, it's the only incident that has remained unsolved.
An unsolved incident?
Oh. Now that you mention it, I remember hearing rumors about such a case.
The only magic incident in Labyrinthia to remain unsolved, huh?
Isabella, about that incident, could you tell us about it in more detail?
I'll have to ask you to stop right there, Defender. Visiting time is up. You're to leave immediately.
Darn.
No way, we just got to the good part.
I bet this is the storyteller's doing. He wrote in his book that visiting time was over. Makes for a more dramatic story, right?
Mr. Wright, Maya, I really don't know how much about that incident, but perhaps you could try asking an Inquisitor about it.
Okay, Spella. Thanks for the help.
Alright, we'll see you again real soon. Keep your spirits up, Isabella. Thank you. Take care, both of you. Mr. Wright, Maya, they're both doing so much for me. I wonder if there's anything I could do for both of them in return. The Great Witch Bezella, Till now, I hadn't given it much thought. Great Witch, the legendary fire, flames, inferno. Oh my. Ooh. What is this? My head hurts.
What was that? That inferno. Were these things my memories?
It's this town's one and only unsolved incident of magic. I'm sure she said something about an alchemist who lost their life to a witch. An alchemist was attacked. That sounds like a serious case. You got that from High Inquisitor Darklaw, right? That's right. When I was searching for Eve last night, I meant to tell you about it, but it totally slipped my mind. Only unsolved incident, huh? That's suspicious, alright. This might just be the lead that will take us to the Great Witch. Okay, let's get to investigating. We can do this thing. Yeah, so, I guess first we should check out the Inquisitor's Hall, right? We might just learn something there. Sure, let's get going. On the other hand, we may just learn how unwelcome we are there. I mean, it's worth a shot. They're right next door and all that. Hey, come on, Nick. Enough with that wishy-washy attitude. I didn't even say anything. Oh, there's the dog again. Wait a minute. The aggressive bark. Please tell me that isn't... It's Constantine. He looks happy to see us. Wish I could say this feeling was mutual. Once bitten, twice shy. That pretty much sums me up right now. Really? I don't know. I think he's looking much friendlier today if you ask me. See? Come on, Nick. Pet him. Just once. He was just thinking about petting. That was enough. This must really... This mud really hates me.
Well, well, if it isn't Sir Blue Knight. Exactly what are you doing over there on all fours?
Oh, Inquisitor Bonham. I'm glad to see you again. Actually, there's something we'd like to ask you about. Come on, Nick. Stand up already. Oh, I'd like to meet that mutt's owner face to face.
How foolish. Constantine happens to be mine, and a true knight's companion he is. He needn't waste time sinking his teeth into the likes of you.
I had a hunch. So Constantine really is your dog, huh? Gotta admire the nerve of this guy. He just sits back and lets his dog bite people. I mean, me.
Never mind that. What is it you want to talk about? Just make it quick, Sir Blue Knight.
The Inquisitors are the ones who investigate incidents of magic in this town, aren't you?
Yes, of course.
If you don't mind, we'd like to ask you about that unsolved incident with magic.
There's one thing you must never forget. The Knights of the Inquisition excel at their work.
Right.
All incidents of magic perpetrated by the witches are dealt with by the Inquisitors, without exception.
Spoken with that usual calm and collected air of confidence. That's interesting. You see, we heard different. Apparently, there's one particular incident that still remains unsolved. Something about an alchemist being murdered? Ring any bells?
What? Where did you get that information from?
Well, High Inquisitor Darklaw.
Well, why the blazes didn't you say so? You could have saved us some time.
Huh? How is it my fault?
The High Inquisitors put me on the spot by leaking such information to the likes of you. Well, I suppose this leaves nothing for it. I shall tell you the whole story, since I do not believe in doing things by halves.
Please, go ahead. We're all ears.
It was 3 months ago that an alchemist living near the town square was murdered.
Sorry, Inquisitor Barnum, but I'm kind of lost already. Is there a difference between alchemy and magic?
When it comes to something that difficult, it will do no good asking me.
Huh?
Seems that while the townspeople respected him, they also treated him with caution.
They respected him?
He used his skills to make medicinal concoctions and acted much like a physician. The efficacy of his cures was almost magic. He was famous within his neighborhood. In fact, he was sometimes referred to as Dr. Belduke by the townspeople. At any rate, it's safe to say that Sir Belduke was no witch.
How can you say for sure?
Quite simple. Sir Belduke was a man.
Well, can't really argue with that.
Sir Belduke came to a mysterious end 3 months ago.
A mysterious end.
There were 2 things about his death that cannot be explained rationally. Firstly, the murder scene. His body was discovered in his residence, in the study. His room was locked. There was no conceivable way the crime could have been committed except by witchcraft.
Isn't that what people call a locked room mystery?
A what?
Oh, it's nothing, really. So, what were the other mysterious thing?
Secondly, until then, all incidents involving witches had been foretold in the story.
Foretold in the story? In other words, predicted by the storyteller. Predicted or dictated?
However, the murder of Sir Belduke did not appear in the story. Such a thing had never occurred before.
So, not only was this the only unsolved incident in Labyrinthia's history, but it was also the only incident not to be predicted by the storyteller. This definitely sounds worth investigating.
Certainly are an interesting one, Sir Blue Knight.
Huh?
You really think you can solve this incident alone, when the Knights of the Inquisition have been working on it for 3 months? I must say, that is some confidence.
We won't know unless we try.
You may risk becoming the target of some terrifying witch's vengeance.
I'm hoping that was a joke.
Well, I suppose you may as well take a look. Who knows? You may even find something. Sir Belduke's residence is just beyond the town square. Ask anyone around there. They'll soon point you in the right direction.
Thank you, Inquisitor Barnum.
Sir Blue Knight, I believe our courtroom battles are far from over. Until we meet again in court.
I'll see you then, Inquisitor. Alright, let's go and let's solve the mystery. The locked room mystery of the alchemist. He lived over here, right? Yeah. Well, we've reached a square. I wonder where the alchemist's residence is.
Hey, Nick, look over there. There's a street leading away from the square.
Hey, you're right. Let's go take a look. So, this is Sir Belduke's residence.
It definitely looks like an alchemist's house. I've never seen plants like these before.
So, what do we do now? Just because the owner's deceased, we can't exactly go barging in.
But have you noticed just how well kept his yard is? It looks like someone is still living here.
Someone has definitely been doing the upkeep around here, that's for sure. Hey, who's that over there? Is there something here? It's just a vase. Why is it got like stuff sticking out of it? Is it supposed to be a mailbox?
My sincere apologies. I'm afraid medicaments are no longer being provided here.
Huh?
Did you not come here for medicaments of some kind?
No. We didn't come here for that. We're here to investigate the incident, the one involving Sir Belduc.
Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but you do not look like members of the Knights of the Inquisition.
I'm Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. And you? I'm guessing you live here?
Indeed, my name is Jean Greer, but I was butler to the late Master Belduc.
Wow, a butler.
This must be my first time meeting a real one.
I bet he did it.
Well, Mr. Greer, if you don't mind,
I've been told that the incident involving your master was shrouded in mystery. Has it got something to do with the Great Witch Bizella? We're trying to investigate that at the moment.
the Great Witch Bizella? Am I right in supposing that you are defending Espella Cantabella?
Well, actually, yes. Yes, we are. So you know Espella, do you?
That goes without saying. Everyone around here knows her.
Do you think you can help us? We're here looking for leads.
While he was alive, the Master taught me the value of investigating the truth that governs the natural world. If you too are investigating the truth, then it would be against his teachings for me not to cooperate with you. Would you both like to come in? We can discuss the matter further inside.
That would be great. Thank you, Mr. Guerrero.
Oh, spoken like a true butler. He's a pretty cool guy, isn't he, Nick?
You think he'll make us tea? I wonder what kind of tea he likes to make. What is this room?
This is the room that Master Belduc kindly provided as my accommodation.
So, is this the room where the incident took place?
That would be the Master's study. It is the room right next door. However, the state of the room has been carefully preserved since the incident 3 months ago. As such, entry into the room is not currently permitted.
Really? Bummer.
Is that by order of the Knights of the Inquisition, by any chance?
Yes. And as I have lived with Master since an early age, they also decided it would be only fitting for me to stay on and keep the place in order.
So you've been looking after the place ever since Sir Belduc passed away?
Yes, that's correct. Now then, is there anything further you wish to discuss? As I mentioned a moment ago, I know very little about this matter. As a matter of fact, it might be better to ask the Inquisitors. I can tell you about one thing, though, namely, what occurred before the incident.
Before the incident?
Yes. It was 3 months ago, around the time that Master Belduc was murdered.
We were on our way back from collecting specimens for research, and it was already into the small hours of the morning. There was a thunderstorm on the way, and as the storm drew nearer, we quickly made our way home.
Why, did you just get, like, struck by lightning maybe through the window or something? Unlucky, but, I mean, not that crazy. Oh, that's pretty crazy.
Anyone would have been surprised at what we saw, but Master Belduc, well, how can I put this? He reacted in a most peculiar way. Unlike others who saw it, he seemed unsettled, as if he was truly afraid of something. After that bell tower appeared, he changed completely. Master Belduc became a different man.
So the bell tower appeared suddenly. Does anyone else know about this? Wait a second, did you just say a bell tower appeared? Hey, that explains it. That must be what High Inquisitor Darklaw meant when she mentioned an incident involving a bell tower. To this day, I still don't know what the Master was so afraid of. Do you think it was connected in some way to his death? I think it must have been magic. I mean, for a bell tower to just appear like that. Mr. Greyroll, do you mind if we have a look around? I know that the Inquisitors have already carried out a full investigation, but there just might be a clue or two of some kind of connection to the Great Witch. Well, I suppose. Providing I am allowed to accompany you, of course. There is sensitive equipment everywhere, and it is my responsibility to take care of it. I understand. We'll be careful. Wonder how the Professor and Luke are doing with their visit to the Storyteller. Yeah, I've been wondering about that too. Chance to meet Labyrinthia's creator. Well, let's just hope they don't upset the guy and have some terrible plot twist written about them. That'd only happen if it was you that visited the Storyteller, Nick. The Professor would never let anything like that happen. I've got a feeling they'll come back with some pretty useful leads. We have to do our best too, Nick. Let's keep up our side of this investigation. You got it, Maya. We're all in this together. Come on, let's see what we can find. That's the spirit. According to Greyroll, Sir Belduke's butler, the bell tower, appears mysteriously after lightning struck one evening. For some reason, Sir Belduke became seriously agitated upon its appearance. The bell tower appeared in the town squares under continuous guard. Could this be related in some way to the death of the alchemist? How far along are we in this game? I can't remember, actually. I want to say the game is 10 chapters long, and we're on chapter 3. And I think we're getting close to the end of chapter 3 as well. So, not quite halfway through. I would have to check after stream, because like I can look at my completed save file and see how many chapters there are, because there's like full story logging and everything. The Great Witch Bezella, which will be tried in the court? That will be Labyrinthia's final chapter. A fitting end for a town ruled by witches and their magic. Am I to believe that this final chapter has already begun? That is correct. And there is no way you can possibly change its final outcome. I wonder about that. You see, I gave my word to a young lady. I promised that without fail I would be able to rescue her. If I'm not mistaken, the Great Witch Trial will begin in 2 weeks' time, the same day on which you will hold your next parade. I believe that should give us sufficient time to show you what we can do. Such a smug continuance. I find it intolerable. I beg your pardon? 2 weeks from now, you say? I'm afraid that information is out of date, Herschel Layton. Out of date? What do you mean? My parade will be held the day after tomorrow, according to the amended story. What? The day after tomorrow? That's not fair. Now that's the kind of countenance I want from the characters in my story. What? That's what I do, don't you know? I decide the fate of characters who have no knowledge of their future. It would appear that you are not yet fully aware of the gravity of the situation. Let me see now. Just for fun, I'll write you a little story. A story full of surprises and a few tears. I shall enjoy seeing the emotions of the characters as they play their parts. A story for us? Stories are a fixture of this town.
you would be wise to embrace them. Let's see. I think we need a stimulating incident. We shall have a witch, some witchcraft, and perhaps a little death. Death? You can't. Oh, but I can. Let me see. This is a golden opportunity to use the alchemist's residence. How about this? Your comrade meets with death by golden curse in the alchemist's residence. This could be a truly interesting story.
No way.
Feel free to act as you wish when playing your role in the story.
How can you? How much do I bench press? 0. Because I don't bench press. That's how much I bench press. I don't think I can't recall a time when I've ever lifted weights.
The beginning of a new tragedy, or farce. The victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy. A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. The woman is captured. Her dark trial begins. The fiery pit will cleanse all her sins.
A man from afar falls to a golden curse, and a woman from afar cries out in grief. This must be referring to Maya and Mr. Wright.
If we don't do something, Mr. Wright and Miss Fay will be in danger. There's no time to lose, Luke. Let's go and find them.
Right you are, Professor.
The story has already been written. And no matter what you do, you will not change the result. I do not agree. What we do next can change the future in any number of ways. I'm sure that's what you want to believe. In fact, a naive outburst like that could be poignant, plot point. Please, be my guest. Your words may help to raise the tension and bring a little excitement to my story.
You monster!
Luke, now is not the time. We need to help Mr. Wright and Maya.
Okay, let's go, Professor. Better hurry. A friend's death added to items. Wow. And here Maya thought there was no way they could piss off the storyteller. There's always time to start? Yeah, sure, let me just go buy a bench press. I'll be right back. I'll go to the store and get a bench press. I don't have any place I could put a bench press. Why would I even need to do that? I have no interest in that sort of thing. I am perfectly satisfied with being weak. You know? As long as you're happy with your current state, then I don't think there's anything wrong. Assuming that you're not like in an unhealthy state. Then maybe you should think about fixing that. Professor, do you hear a flapping sound coming this way?
The sound of a large bird, perhaps.
That's the owl we saw at the audience room.
It's holding a letter in its mouth, not to mention watching us intently.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something. I'll try talking to him to see what he wants. What can we do for you? I've got it, Professor. Who? That's the owl. Says the letter was delivered to the storyteller 3 months ago.
To the storyteller? If that's so, then we can't very well keep it. After all, it's wrong to read letters addressed to someone else.
Well, that's what the owl said. But he also said there's absolutely nothing written on the sheets of parchment inside the envelope. Look, Professor. See? They're totally blank.
A letter with nothing written on it. That is indeed most curious.
And another thing, Professor. The owl says the letter was sent by the alchemist.
What's that, my boy? Written by the alchemist. Do you remember what the storyteller wrote in that story he penned a moment ago? A victim of a golden curse lies in the dwelling of a user of false alchemy. Which probably means the place in which this incident will occur. It's the home of the one who sent this letter and it's the home of the one who sent this letter. In other words, at the alchemist's house, right, Professor? It appears the address of the sender, Sir Belduc, is written on the envelope. Which means we had better make our way there immediately. Thanks, Mr. Hoot.
Now, why would Belduc send a prank letter to the storyteller? No wonder Belduc died. He probably pissed him off just like Layton did. Wrote him a shitty story and now he's dead.
The address on the envelope is somewhere near the town square. That's a little far from here, Professor. We might not make it in time. I think we better run. Look, my boy, we have the need to rent a steed. I think you're right, Professor. That would be far quicker than running.
I think it's best to strive forward, but always be satisfied with the progress you made. For if you don't, you'll lose sight as to why you want to progress forward. Exactly. I have no need to progress forward. So therefore, I'm perfectly satisfied with the progress I've made.
Quickly, Luke. There's no time to lose. Easy, boy. This horse is certainly spirited.
Are we just, like, performing Grand Theft Equestrian? Are we allowed to take those horses? We don't need more people stuck in jail.
Say, Nick, have you noticed how the color of that wall is different from all the other walls in the room?
I think I've investigated enough crime scenes by now to notice something as obvious as that, Maya.
I'm embarrassed to admit it, but actually there was a small fire here a while ago. It was my fault. The wall ended up being a little bit singed in the process.
Now that you mention it, there are some signs of a fire on the floor there too.
Yes, that's correct. Anyway, I decided to paint the wall myself.
Looks like Mr. Grails were way handier with his herbs than with a paintbrush.
I lit a candle, set fire to some dry straw. In all my time as a butler, I've never made such a major blunder.
Nah, it's not that bad. You're being a little hard on yourself.
That's right, it's not so bad. You think that's bad? You should see Nick try and do the laundry. Now that's a major blunder.
Okay, that was one time. Anyways.
Let's go check out Mr. Belduc's study.
While we're here, could you show us around your room a little, Mr. Grail?
Of course. If it'll bring you any closer to finding the truth, be my guest. However, as the Knights of the Inquisition have ordered that the crime scene be left undisturbed, I must ask that you refrain from touching anything while you're in the study.
Sure, we'll be careful. Let me guess, they're gonna touch something in the study, and that something is gonna turn Phoenix into gold. I mean, there's a magic circle on the floor. If that's not gonna turn to gold, then I don't know what.
Hey, look, Nick. They're on the floor. It's one of those, whatchamacallits. You know, a crop circle, right?
That's an alchemist circle, Maya. We're not in the wheat field.
I'm sorry to repeat myself, but please be sure not to touch anything.
You heard it, Maya. That means keep your hands to yourself.
No problem. I'll just do the touching with my eyes.
Hearing that from Maya, I could actually see her just, like, sticking her head down and literally touching things with her eyes. With your eyes? Cabinet might have contained the alchemist's research materials, but it's been emptied. Like some junk's been left behind. That's a globe of the night sky.
The alchemist was also an astronomer. Or maybe he was into astrology.
You think astrology is real in this world? Actually, no, it's probably not real. Because the storyteller dictates all the future. Maybe he writes an astrology column on the side, though.
Hey, that's a pretty little picture over there.
We could use a picture like this back at the office, don't you think? We could hang it right next to Charlie.
Wait, Charlie? Who is Charlie?
What is it, Nick?
The wall behind this picture frame.
The wall? Oh, that. It seems like there's some kind of green mark on the wall just by the painting. Wonder if there's something hidden behind this painting.
It's just green.
Hey, Nick, look at this. The wall behind the painting, it's painted green. Is there a problem?
No. No problem.
This could be some kind of clue.
Anything else in this room? Oh, hint coin.
Curiously shaped implant. No idea what it's used for. This could be a device for turning bread into gold.
Uh-oh.
Let's not talk about gold. At least not until we leave the house.
What's the matter, Mr. Guerrero?
Oh, it's actually that pendant. I must say I find it fascinating. Oh, you mean this old thing? It's called a Magatama. Magatama. Yep, you could say it's kind of like my source of power, I guess. I understand. Stones are often charged with energy, after all. The pendant you're wearing is pretty neat, too. It's such a mysterious color. Oh, this? It's an amethyst. Master Belduke asked me to wear it.
An amethyst?
The amethyst brings about good vibrations, in an alchemy sense.
Mr. Guerrero?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just remembering Master Belduke.
Which character do you think is gay besides Nick? Because, yeah, Nick is straight as a circle. I'm pretty sure Nick is not straight. If you recall from case 2-3, and the fact that he was, like, had a crush on the ringleader's daughter. If anyone wants to remember that case. Unless you're implying something else here about the daughter of the ringleader. I cannot agree that Nick is straight as a circle, as you put it. I could see Maya being gay, if anything. We haven't had any proof of her otherwise.
He gave me this stone and accepted me as his assistant alchemist. But now, Master... Such is the order of the natural world.
Seems like Guerrero really misses him.
You must have respected Sir Belduke.
I don't think Nick is gay either. Yeah, like, I can't see Nick being gay. I can see Maya being gay, though. Because we have no proof of the opposite, so... I don't think we need to leave just yet.
Oh, it's a magic circle. It's neatly drawn and sure looks magical.
Looks like a load of white powder's been scattered around the desk. About this white powder. Has it been here since the incident?
That's right. It was just like this when I entered the room on the morning following the incident. I have left it this way ever since. I guess someone must have dropped a container full of some medicine. Please try not to walk in it. You may leave footprints.
Oh, so this world has footprints as part of their investigation. But they don't have fingerprints.
Now that you said it, all I want to do is leave little footprints all over the place. It'll be like Maya was here.
Yeah, please don't. You've messed up enough crime scenes as it is. No one gives me gay vibes in this game except the cook. Wait, which cook? Do you mean, like, the cook from Phoenix Wright 3? Or do you mean the cook from, Or do you mean, like, Phoenix the baker? Or do you mean Aunt Patty?
Surely you can't mean Aunt Patty. Oh, the one from the French cafe. Oh, yeah, yeah, him. No, yeah, he's like 110% gay. Well, I think we just about investigate everything we can for now. We didn't find any leads on the Great Witch. Oh, Mr. Guerrero? Yes, what is it? Is there anywhere else you can think of where we might find more clues? Let me see. Well, there is a cellar under this study. That's where the master keeps his research materials. A cellar? Under this room? Yes. There's a trapdoor in the floor, leading down to the cellar. A room containing Belduke's research materials. If you don't mind, I'd like to have a quick look at that room. I see. Very well. If you'll please just wait a moment. That ladder leads down into the cellar, but be careful. It's rather dark down there. It looks like it might be a little cramped down there, too. That's true. Perhaps it's a little bit small for the both of you at once. Okay, Nick, this seems more like your kind of thing anyway. What do you mean? I don't know, I guess you're just more suited to small, dark, damp places. Didn't you stay in a cave for like 72 hours, Maya? Against your will, sure, but you seemed okay in there. You went there voluntarily, if I recall. You go down there. Don't send Nick down there. I'm not a rat, you know. Come on, you know that's not what I mean. I'll just stay up here and snoop around for some clues. It's not snooping, Maya, it's investigating. Anyway, you do that. I'll be right back. She was stuffed into a cake. No, in a cave. And at the end of Phoenix Wright 3, like she was in there for like, what, 72 plus hours because they couldn't get her out? Or something? We didn't see her until like day 3 of the case. Well, I should return to my room. Please give me a call as soon as you have both finished. Okay, got it. It's a little chilly down here. Perfect place to grow some plants, though. Doesn't look like it's been used much. The air is so musty and stale. Anyway, better hurry up and take a look around. Alright. Well, I think we see something very clearly suspicious here already. But we'll click on that last. Looks like Sir Belduke studied alchemy here too. I don't see anything medicine-like, but there sure is a lot of equipment. This desk is pretty messy. Not a speck of dust, though. I guess Guerrero must be keeping it clean. There's a wooden box by the desk filled with all kinds of junk. Doll is peeping out of the box. I wonder if it was left by a little girl who was one of the doctor's patients. It looks like Sir Belduke carried out research here as well. What's Belduke's research about? Will all his work be lost now that he's gone? Plenty of sketches and drawings, nothing useful for us. He has a well down here in his basement. Well, well, well. If this isn't a well. Looks like it's still in use too. I'm guessing you need quite a bit of clean water for alchemy. Come to think of it, I haven't noticed any plumbing here in Labyrinthia. Looks like a sculpture of a goat, I think. Something about it gives me the creeps. Wait a second. This thing is completely made of gold. Could this be the result of alchemy? I guess in this town anything's possible. If Maya were here, she'd break her back trying to take that goat away with her. That's strange. Almost everything in this room is covered in a layer of dust. Everything, except for that goat, that is. Seems to have been kept in pristine condition. Well, looks like I've pretty much seen all there is to see down here. Room doesn't seem to have been used much, and there's nothing I can see that might provide a lead. If I stay here any longer, I might just end up covered in dust myself. Not to mention, standing here sighing is kind of clogging up my lungs. Maybe it's time I headed back upstairs. I should probably see how Maya's doing. Oh, is that the other bard? This is the alchemist's house. We have to hurry.
Professor? Wait for me.
Miss Fay.
Hi, Professor. What's up? You look flushed.
Where's Mr. Wright? Have you seen him?
Oh, Nick. He's just down in the basement doing some investigating. He should be back up soon. So how did it go? Did you get to see the storyteller?
Please, get Mr. Wright immediately. It's safer if we're all together in one place. I'll explain later. Just hurry.
Huh?
As things stand, Mr. Wright is in serious danger.
Nick's in danger? What do you mean?
Did he just say explain later?
A witch will appear here soon.
Fucking go get him. It's too late.
All is as written in the story.
Do you happen to be the great witch Bazella?
Concern yourselves not with who I am, but rather with what you will now become.
Oh, dearie me. Whatever's the matter, child? You look positively flustered. Sir Belduke is no longer resident here. You'll need to go elsewhere for your medicaments. I know that. Oh, let me through. It's a matter of life and death. Life and death, you say? If so, then I may foresee a hit ballad. Raise up your hearts and sing with Birdly. My bird is Cracker. First, second, and thirdly. This must be that rival Mr. Bardley was talking about. Anyway, I'm in a hurry. Oh, dearie me.
I have a feeling this witch is gonna cast more than some eepy sleepy on poor old Layton here. Yeah. Do you think gold needles work on a gold statue, or does that only work on stone?
Professor!
It wasn't me!
I told you Maya was a witch.
Professor, the words the storyteller wrote really did come true, and in the worst possible way.
Quick, melt him down and sell him, you'll be set for life. Oh my god.
A man from afar falls to a golden curse. At first, I thought he was referring to Mr. Wright, but I got it all wrong. It was about the professor.
Yeah, how does that work? If someone gets turned to like a statue and their arm breaks off, and then you cure the curse, do they just have a broken arm now? Or does it magically come back together? I don't think I've ever seen the aftermath of such things. Maybe we'll find out here. Professor Layton was turned into a gold statue through witchcraft in the alchemist's residence. How can this be? Unfortunately, Professor Layton was not available for comment. Oh, we did miss some puzzles. Maybe we'll check those out at some point in the game. We're a long ways off from the end, so might save that for closer to it. The Golden Court. Doesn't make sense. How come it has to come to this? Darn witch. Why did it have to happen to the professor of all people? You cannot believe me, Nick. I may be a spirit medium, but I'm no witch. Don't worry, I know it wasn't you. Hmm? Say, have you seen Luke today? I haven't seen him since last night. He was crying all night. I didn't know what to say to him. No kidding. He's the one suffering the most from all this. Poor kid. He probably needs some time alone with his grief. We should leave him be. Yeah. He shouldn't have to see this trial. It'd be too hard for him. Oh, it's Espella. What are you doing here, Espella? Have they cleared you of the accusations? No, not yet. If only it was that easy. It's just that I'm not technically under arrest, so I got special permission to come here. You're not technically under arrest, but they're still keeping you in the dungeon. Explain to me how that makes sense. I'm free to go wherever I like, within this building. Yeah, that's called arrest. That's like house arrest, but with extra steps. Ah, I see. I heard about Mr. Layton. It's awful. He was such a good man. I'm sorry, Espella. Huh? What are you apologizing for? We were supposed to find clues connected to Bazella, but we couldn't find anything, and now the professor's been... No, don't say that. It's not your fault. And I don't believe a word of what they say about Maya. She isn't a witch. Thank you, Espella. Mr. Wright. Do you mind if I assist you in court today? Huh? I know I may not be of much use, but I'll do what I can. I want to help you and Maya. Espella. Excuse me. You're... Grail, butler of the late Master Belduke. I have come to inquire after Miss Maya. It's most regrettable what has happened yesterday. Oh, thank you for coming all the way here. Hmm? You look really pale, John. Are you alright? Oh, please don't worry about me. It's merely that since the incident, sleep has eluded me. Oh. I spent the night searching throughout Master's notes on alchemy. I hope there may have been some mention of a method by which something turned to gold may be reverted back to its original form. You were looking for a way to rescue the professor? Human fate is often cruel, but that's also why we must never lose hope. John.
Fender, accused. The trial's about to start. Proceed to the chamber.
Yes, we're coming. Nick? Cheer up, Maya. I'm not just going to let them sentence you. I just wish all this would stop already. Whether someone's a witch or not. No one deserves to be burned. I know. I can't stand for it either. If you'll kindly excuse me now, I must return to my duties. Ah, no problem. We, appreciate you coming to see us. Something's bothering me. John seems somewhat odd today. go, Mr. Wright. The trial's about to begin. What would happen if Layton got ungolded mid-trial? Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he got ungolded mid-trial, would he be missing an arm? Would it just magically get reattached wherever it is?
The trial of Maya Fey shall now begin, as scheduled.
Okay, well, I think this is like a perfect spot to end it, because if we start the trial, I would hate to have to like stop it halfway through. I think it would be better to do this trial in one fell swoop. So we will do the this trial next time and find out what exactly happened to poor old Layton. I'm telling you, this game has some twists in it. Like, we're not even halfway through this game. We are on chapter 4 of 9. So I would say we're not quite halfway, because the later chapters are much longer. I'd say we're still pretty early on, as far as I'm concerned. Because then there's also like the epilogue, which is a little bit. And there were some like bonus things I wanted to show off, but long story short, that's going to be tricky to do. But yeah, we're not quite halfway. I think there's still 2 more court trials after this. Or maybe there's only 1. There's 1 or 2, because there's like the final one, and I thought there was 1 more trial as well. So I think there's like 5 Phoenix Wright trials in this game. I mean, like, trail-wise, would they just stop the trial because Layton's fine? No, because, like, there's still the matter of who turned him into gold, right? We need to solve the mystery of who turned Layton to gold. Doesn't matter if he's fine. Like, in real life, if someone attempts to kill someone, that's still a crime. Just because you didn't kill them, you only attempted to kill them and failed, you're still a criminal. So someone turned Layton to gold, even if they didn't, like, keep him dead and keep him gold, they still turned him to gold. That's a crime. It wasn't Maya, that's for sure. Are we sure, though? Because she was standing right next to that scepter. I don't know about you, but that sounds like pretty incriminating evidence to me. You know, one of these times, she's gonna get caught, and she's gonna be actually the criminal. And there's nothing we can do about it. I bet, actually, in the far future, they're gonna make, like, a Layton game. This is how they'll kill off Maya. This is, I predict if they ever wanted to kill her off the game, the series, they would do the traditional Maya gets accused of a crime case, but it actually turns out she was the culprit. Or you go the whole game without Maya getting accused of anything, but when you go and try and, like, deduce the clues, you know, you're defending your client, like you're trying to prove them innocent, but then it turns out Maya ended up being the real culprit, and there's nothing Phoenix can do about it, and she actually gets locked up in jail. That is what they would do. I guarantee it. Because it's like tradition at this point that something happens to Maya. That Maya is, like, always accused of something and always has to be defended in court. Every single time. Except for game 2. But she was kidnapped, so she was still a victim in that one. So something always happens to her. I mean, for all we hell, she could have easily been the gold victim here. She could have been the alchemy victim. But yeah, we'll end it here today because this trial is going to probably take another, like, 2 hours, and I have to go out tomorrow morning, so I'd rather not, like, do this trial halfway through. Actually, it's probably going to take longer than 2 hours. I mean, we spent the entire stream last time of, like, how much long was that? Like 8 hours on this single trial? So it's probably going to take even longer, actually. I don't know why I said 2 hours. That's me being super optimistic on this. No, it's likely going to be a lot longer than 2 hours. So I'd rather just do it all in one fell swoop, because if we do it in, like, a single stream, and then we can do it all the way through, and we don't have to, like, try and do it halfway. Because there were a couple games where I did trials halfway, but then I, like, stopped and paused and did the next stream, but then, like, I forgot details. So I think it's just better if we hold off and do them all at once. Last time was also FF14. Yeah, but, like, the FF14 was, like, what, 3 hours of it, and then the rest of it was all... Actually, yeah, let me look at the link to the stream. I have that stream button right here. It was... How long was it? That stream was specifically...
Oh shit. Edit. How long is this? It was 8 hours long, and I'm pretty sure the majority of that, like easily 70% of it, was Phoenix Wright. And it was all case number 2. It wasn't any exploration, it was 100% just the court case. And that was like 6+ hours. So, yeah, it's like the perfect length to do a full stream of. So I think we'll save it for that. I think that kind of works out good. It's like you do, you know, one stream we do all the adventuring stuff leading up to the case, and then the next stream we do the case. I think that's a good alternating for this game. If we can try and keep in that kind of flow, I think that would work out well. Because we're like 13 hours in, so my full playthrough of this, I think, was like, I think it said it was 36 hours? Yeah, it was like 36 hours, 37 hours, so we're almost halfway-ish there, I would say. Probably after this case, I'd say is like the halfway point then, if we're going off of that time length. So next Wednesday, we will continue Phoenix Wright. Or sorry, next Tuesday we'll continue Phoenix Wright. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we will finish up Demo. One more part of that. And then Minecraft this Friday. More Superland next Monday. So stay tuned for all of that. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. Have a good night. And I will see you next time.